California, here we come. After a very long spring training camp in Arizona and starting the season on the road, the Angels have finally made it back to the Big A. First, the Halos rained on the Reds' opening day parade with a marathon 13-inning win in Cincinnati.
What a job by Chris Iannetta and the pitching staff.
Then deep in the heart of Texas, they got a rude welcome, but their bats began to warm up, including Mike Trout, last season's American League Rookie of the Year, who's ready to eclipse his spectacular MLB debut. Along with Albert Pujols, Angel fans get to see Josh Hamilton in his new digs. They have 4 MVP awards between them and lay the foundation for a new murderer's row in the heart of a potent lineup. Tonight, the Angels face the defending American League West champions in the early test as they look to go deep into October. So enough with the opening days on the road. It's California time. Let's play ball. After the 2-4 start to the season, the Halos had the off day yesterday. It's always nice to come back home. It is the home opener, the 3rd opener for the Angels in this young season. And tonight, from the beautiful Big A, it is game number 1 of a 3-game set between your Angels and the Oakland Athletics. And with any home opener, you've got to have the pomp and circumstance. Of course, you've got the managers meeting at home plate and the starting lineups along with the reserves introduced to a very good crowd, a capacity crowd expected here tonight. As we welcome you inside the Big A, and alongside my partner Mark Guzan, Victor Rojas, and we welcome you back to Angels baseball here at Fox Sports West. Of course, the news of the day earlier today, we found out that Jared Weaver will miss about 4 to 6 weeks with a broken left elbow. That's a non-pitching elbow, but no question, it is a big blow to this Angels team.
Well, no doubt about it, Victor. He's the ace of the staff, 20-game winner last season. Also threw a no-hitter. It's one of those plays, though, so unusual as a pitcher. Line jump up the middle. You're trying to think in terms of getting away from the baseball back at you, but he landed on the elbow, cracked a bone in the elbow. Be out 4 to 6 weeks, but the reality is he's going to be able to keep his arm going.
Well, C.J. Wilson will get the start, and the Angels need to rely on him.
Well, the big thing, he's an ace himself. I mean, he's brought over here to be an ace of this staff along with Jared Weaver. 44 wins since 2010. He has that ability. He's got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, great command of his secondary pitches. He's got to believe he's an ace, and if he does, he should be effective.
Well, from the pitching, let's talk a little bit about the offense, and of course, it all starts at the top of the order with Mike Trout.
Boy, it's a lot of fun to talk about this offense, Victor, and Mike Trout is one of the best. The AL Rookie of the Year last season, he can beat you with his glove, he can beat you with the bat, and he can beat you with speed. 30 home runs, 40 steals last year. First rookie ever to do that. He's that good. Plus, he's going to be on base for the man going to be hitting behind him, and Albert Pujols. He can drive the ball. He's starting to see the ball much better, too, which is a big thing because he's showing some patience. He's also hit the ball out of the ballpark, and it looks very good as far as his team right now offensively.
Well, the Angels, of course, are facing the American League Western Division champion Oakland Athletics, 94 wins. They played very good baseball here at the Big A against the Angels, a 7-3 record against the Halos here at the Big A. So C.J. Wilson will have his hands full against a very tough team. And Jared Parker, the right-hander, will be going for the Oakland Athletics. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Gorgeous night for baseball here at the Big A. The Angels and the Athletics getting ready to battle and battle all season long. There's no question the Oakland A's a team to be reckoned with. A 5-2 record to start. They started at home against the Seattle Mariners and then went on to Houston to sweep the Houston Astros. They too had the off day yesterday. And of course, we're ready for game one here at home for the Angels. We mentioned the Halos at 2-4, all 6 of their games out on the road. C.J. Wilson is just about ready to throw that first warm-up pitch. But right now you've got the coaches and the umpires still at the home plate area. As you take a look at Bob Melvin, the skipper of the Oakland A's. Let's check out his lineup for game number 8 on the young season for the Athletics. It's Coco Crisp leading things off at center field. Chris Young, the former Arizona Diamondback, is in right field. Jed Lowry is the shortstop. He's the former Astro and Red Sox. Yoenis Cespedes has had a terrific rookie season last year. He's the cleanup hitter at left. Derek Norris doing the catching. Josh Donaldson is over at third base. Brandon Moss had a breakout year last year at first base for the A's. Nate Freeman is the designated hitter, a big guy at 6'8" tall. And Scott Sizemore, who missed all of last year, is batting ninth and playing second base. As we pointed out, it's C.J. Wilson making his second start of this season. And obviously had a quote-unquote quality start in that first start against Cincinnati. But all of a sudden the wheels came off after starting perfect. 10 up and 10 down, and then gave up 4 runs.
Yeah, what you look for out of CJ is what we saw in those first 3 innings in which he just absolutely dominated in the strike zone. Utilized all his pitches, pitched quickly, and got a lot of quick outs. That's what he has to do. He has to be a guy that gives Mike Scioscia some innings to rest that bullpen while Jared Weaver heals and gets back in there.
Now let's check out the defense behind Wilson. It's Mike Trout in left, Peter Borges in center, Josh Hamilton in right, the infield, pretty much as we've seen it for the first week of the season. Alberto Callaspo at third, Eric Ibar short, Howie Kendrick at second, Albert Pujols back at first base, and Chris Iannetta is doing the catching.
And I still feel with CJ on the mound, if he's going to be successful, it's going to be ground balls. And Albert Pujols is going to be very active as far as not only the throws across the diamond, but those slow rollers to the first base line. Very good Gold Glove winner in the past, Albert Pujols at first base.
Coco Crisp will lead things off. The Oakland A's have got a couple of guys swinging the bats very well here in the early going. Crisp is one of them. Jed Lowry is the other. Noticeably absent from the lineup is Josh Reddick, their right fielder, who jammed his right wrist in that series against the Astros, and he may just miss this series here as he is listed as day-to-day. First one tonight is a fastball in for a strike. Crisp, 33 years of age, at 333, has 3 home runs, 5 runs batted in as this one's over to third base. And there's the first out. That's how this one starts.
Well, always nice to get that first out. You mentioned Coco Crisp, 6 extra base hits already, but only 143 batting average against CJ as he gets that first ground ball out.
Here comes Chris Young, the guy that we've seen, if you follow Major League Baseball, in the Arizona Diamondbacks as a center fielder. Picked up this offseason. A guy that's got terrific power potential. He also has a terrific strikeout rate at times when he is struggling. But off to a good start with a couple of home runs and 4 runs batted in. There's a fastball in at the knees.
Like the Angels, all 3 outfielders are center fielders by trade for Oakland. Same thing with the Angels. That's why there's a lot of coverage in the outfield.
That's down in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Young acquired from the Diamondbacks along with cash considerations for Cliff Pennington, minor leaguer Yordy Cabrera. That was in October. Now it caught the inside corner and the top part of the strike zone, 1 and 2.
Remember Kirk Gibson, when he was a manager for Chris Young in Arizona, used to talk about his incredible power, but the inconsistencies in his swing.
Just got a piece of that one. Good off speed pitch from CJ. Still remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Young has started 4 games at 3 different positions, 2 at center, 1 at left, and 1 at DH. And still filtering into the ballpark. Rush hour traffic. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I don't think any sport has a better opening day when you think about it. I mean, the festivities and the energy level. For even if you're a team that's not even going to contend that year, but that particular point, you're happy.
Ground ball to short. Ibar's got the skimmer. Low throw. Pujols has it, 2 down.
And before Lowry steps to the plate, we'll check out our Hyundai key to the game.
And speaking of that, feel this moment by Pitbull and Christina Aguilera. The big thing is you got to feel this moment for opening day. You know you're going to have the butterflies, but the reality is you know you're going to put it together here on this homestand where you have Oakland followed by the Astros. So feel this moment. Enjoy opening day.
Took you to the 7th game to bust out Mr. Worldwide, huh?
They do it.
Here's Jet Lowry, the switch hitting shortstop. Picked up this offseason from the Houston Astros. The first one's up and away. Lowry's off to a red hot start. 500 batting average, 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Limited to just 97 games last year with the Astros. A couple of injuries. Nagging ones, thumb injury and a right ankle sprain. Slick fielding shortstop.
And 7 extra base hits for him, too. Him and Coco Crisp driving the ball.
Two balls and a strike. Lowry's had back-to-back 3-hit games for the first time in his career. Limited experience against CJ. Just 1 for 3 in his career. Three balls and 1 strike. Cespedes is on deck. Two up and 2 down to start this one off. 3-1 pitch. Just missed inside. He walked it. So a 2-out walk. Puts a man on for the guy you don't want at the plate, Cespedes.
And also, if you're CJ, you got to, like he did, clear the mind. He wasn't real happy about that pitch not being called a strike. Early in that at bat against Lowry, he got that pitch called in the inside corner, but didn't get that one.
Yoenis Cespedes off to a slow start, a 120 average, couple of home runs, 5 runs batted in. Native of Cuba, now in his 2nd season in the big leagues. Breaking ball is downstairs. A fantastic rookie season for Cespedes last year. 292 average, 23 home runs, 82 runs batted in. A terrific arm out in the outfield. Two balls and no strikes.
And that's what you want to avoid if you're CJ. You get 2 quick outs, and all of a sudden you walk a batter, and now you're behind a dangerous hitter in Cespedes, one of the best young hitters in the game.
Netta's going to go out and talk things over with him. 15 pitches into this outing. And I ask you, as a former big league starter, is it possible, as you see the numbers for CJ in his start against Cincinnati, to think too much as a starting pitcher?
No question. There's no question about it. You have to trust your game plan you have before the game put in place by Mike Butcher and Chris Iannetta and yourself as a pitcher to be able to go out and perform.
2-1.
Now, if you're a pitcher like a Jamie Moyer who has to hit his spots, doesn't overpower hitters, yeah, you're going to think about how to set up a hitter. But CJ has dominant stuff, especially with the fastball from the left side, 91 to 94.
Lowry over at first base. 2-1 pitch. He's outside. 3 balls and a strike. It's an A's team that hit 195 home runs last year. Collectively hit 238. But a very good pitching staff, starters and relievers. 3-1 offering is upstairs. So back-to-back walks by CJ after putting the first 2 guys to ground out.
Now the bottom line is CJ was upset that a couple pitches were not called. But Jay Lowry is at the plate. But you got to let that go. You got to go out and perform. If you have Cespedes up there and you end up throwing 4 out of the 5 pitches out of the zone, you got to regroup, trust yourself, trust Chris Iannetta to be able to frame some pitches. No question.
But at some point you've got to get over that. Don't you have to make the adjustment? Granted, you got it on one batter. You didn't get it on the next one. You got to turn the page eventually and say, you know what, all right, I'll just stick with the game plan. I didn't get that call, no big deal. Not let it rattle you too much.
And Mike Butcher's asking right then and there where exactly some of these pitches are. He's protecting CJ. he might not necessarily agree with what CJ's thinking as far as those pitches in or out of the zone, but as a pitching coach, you have to protect him and ask that umpire where those pitches are.
And that's why a lot of times you see pitching coaches go to the catcher in the dugout as opposed to the pitcher, because the catcher is going to give you a more truthful answer. It's not an emotionally based answer. It's a guy that's actually experiencing where the strike is at and where he's catching that ball.
Because everything I threw I thought was a strike.
Well, there's no doubt.
Even if I hit the batter, I said, well, he should have got out of the way. It was a strike.
I would never, ever paint you as a liar. So 2 outs, 2 on, and there's ball 1 to Derek Norris, the catcher. Norris hit 7 home runs in 60 games last year for the Athletics. 3 for 9 on the young season. Just 24 years of age. Native of Goddard, Kansas. In the Washington Nationals organization. Came over prior to last year in the Gio Gonzalez trade. So 19 pitches thrown by CJ, and in trouble here with runners at first and second. Breaking ball is in there.
Sometimes the best pitch to go to when you're having command issues is a breaking ball, because you're more apt to concentrate as far as your mechanics in throwing that in the zone.
Helps to slow things down a little bit mechanically.
No question. Now he's going to come back here, probably try to sink something away. But he got his mechanics back with that breaking ball.
Norris stepping out. One ball, one strike. Crisp led off with a ground out to Callaspo. Young followed with a ground out to short. Another off speed pitch, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
CJ was 2-2 against the A's last season with an ERA at exactly 3. 6 wins since 2010 versus the A's. So he's had success. He's got to use that as far as getting his confidence back.
Hamilton shallow in right field. You've got pretty good base runners on the bases for Oakland, as that one is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Josh Donaldson, the third baseman, is on deck. Wilson trying to get out of this top of the first. Norris hits one into center field. It's a base hit. Lowry will come in to score, and Oakland has a 1-0 lead.
Well, how often we see that from Oakland last season? Working some walks, not panicking. Get 2 guys on, then a base hit by Norris drives in their first run.
Well, you've taken the pressure off on the offensive side of things. When you're unable to locate your pitches, you could sit in one spot, especially in a 3-1 count.
Well, every hitter is much better when they know a fastball's coming and they're in a great fastball count. You cannot throw anything off speed there. You want to load the bases.
Norris picks up his second RBI of the season. Cespedes at second base. And here comes Donaldson, the third baseman. He pulls the first one off the glove of Callaspo, and it trickles into the outfield. Cespedes is going to stop at third base. He thought about coming around.
Well, that's great hustle by Eric Ibar to be there. Most times as a shortstop, after the ball goes off the glove of a third baseman, you become a spectator. But he ran over the line, got to that ball, and because of the reputation of Eric Ibar's arm, Mike Gallego, the third base coach, holds Cespedes to third, which could end up being a big break. This ball is hit like a rocket. Callaspo was able to at least get glove on it, slow it down, but Eric Ibar's alertness and speed and the threat of that power arm he has keeps Cespedes to third.
Wilson's thrown 24 pitches, down 1-0, and now he's got a bases loaded situation with Brandon Moss at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. First one's a breaking ball downstairs. Moss hitting .235 this year. 1 RBI. .291 average last season. 21 home runs. 52 runs batted in. He hit those 21 home runs in 84 games with the Athletics. Cespedes is at third. Norris at second. Donaldson at first. 2-0. CJ in that start against Cincinnati had 4 walks and 4 strikeouts.
Well, you don't say it too often, but this first inning, this batter right here for CJ and the Angels could be a key. Right now, you cannot afford to let it blow up into a big inning against you.
Took something off. A 2-1 count now on Moss. Nate Freeman, the DH, is on deck. 3-1.
Bottom line is he's not getting borderline pitches, so if you're CJ, you got to go trust movement, start middle of the plate, and work to a corner, not start it at the corner.
Right, I was just going to say, at that point, you've got to make the adjustment yourself. Stop nibbling, and if it means get the ball put in play, then get the ball put in play somehow. There's a strike, a full count.
See how that ball cut across the plate? Well, you have a chance because he has good movement, but if you start that on the corner, it's going to be a ball, an easy call for an umpire. Start it middle part of the plate, trust movement, good results.
Well, we'll get the merry-go-round going with the bases loaded. A full count at 2 outs. Wilson trying to keep it a 1-0 deficit. Runners go. The 3-2 is fouled off. So we'll reset and do it again. Not the kind of start you wanted to see from C.J. Wilson on the day that your ace, Jared Weaver, is placed on the disabled list for 4 to 6 weeks. A broken left elbow. Another 3-2. Moss loops one out towards right center field. That is going to fall for a hit. 2 runs are going to come in. Ending up at third base is Donaldson. 3-0 Athletics. So the multiple run inning, which has been the Achilles heel for C.J. Wilson, rears its ugly head here in the first.
You got to challenge him with a fastball. Inner half not hit necessarily well by Brandon Moss, but it was able to get into the outfield, and with the runners moving, easily scoring 2.
Moss picks up his 2nd and 3rd runs batted into the year. Here's Freeman, the DH. Freeman, his first go-round in the big leagues, claimed off waivers from the Houston Astros, who had selected him as a Rule 5 pick from the Padres this past offseason. First one's in for a strike.
Well, how often do you see a 2-out walk turn into a rally going against you? Even at the youngest levels, whether you're in high school, minor league baseball, or in the major leagues, those 2-out walks always seem to come back and hurt you.
Freeman check swing foul. It's 0-2. And not to diminish anything that Jet Lowry has done in his big league career, but not your prototypical 3-hole hitter with Reddick out. He's batting in the 3 spot. You've got 2 outs and the bases clear. You figure that's the type of guy you want to just go after.
Especially after 2 quick outs.
Head of the count at 0-2. Freeman listed at 6'8", 250, 26 years of age. Padres 8th round pick in 2009 out of Duke University. Here's the 1-2. That's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch count up to 35 now for CJ.
What we're seeing out of the Oakland A's hitters, they're not chasing the break a ball or anything out of the zone. They're forcing CJ to throw the ball middle part of the plate and aiming it. When you do that, you're not going to have that movement. So credit them for having some patience here against CJ Wilson.
Fastball just missed in. It's a full count. Moss will be off with the pitch at first. The 3-2 is upstairs, and he walked him. So third walk of the inning. The Oakland A's have sent 9 men to the plate here in the first. You're going to get some action, perhaps scrambling in that Angels bullpen. Already one visit to the mound by Mike Butcher, and it looks like Jerome Williams will begin to loosen. Scott Sizemore, the batter. Bases loaded, still 2 outs. 3-0 A's here in the first. 3 walks in the inning for Wilson. Sizemore hitting .250 on the young season, has a double. Missed all of last year when he tore his ACL in spring training. Oh, 1 pitch. Popped up toward the dugout. Iannetta is going to run out of room. An 0-2 count. That's Donaldson at third base. He had a single. Moss at second. 2 RBI single for him. And Freeman, who drew the walk, is standing at first. CJ now on the year. This is just 2 starts. 6 2/3 innings. And 7 walks allowed. This will be the 40th pitch of the inning. The 0-2. Making ball. Cute foul.
When someone's that late on a breaking ball, now you try a fastball away and keep it at the knees. You should be able to get through the inning. He's in protect mode, but a good fastball from CJ should get him on the outside corner.
Borges shallow and toward the alley in right center field. Hamilton shallow and right. Another 0-2. It's a fastball. Apparently just missed below the knees. 1-2.
Pretty good view here if it's going to be out of the zone. Gets the bottom part of the strike zone according to Fox Tracks at 92. But again, you're not going to get those borderline pitches if you're inconsistent in the strike zone or out of the zone.
2-2. Oakland, a team as we saw last year, as many teams saw last year. Give them an inch and they will run away with it. They will take the foot.
Yeah, Bob Melvin did a great job as far as letting his team play. When they get that opportunity, they were very successful last year.
2-2. Pull to the third baseman, Alberto Callasco. He'll force out Freeman at second. The inning finally comes to an end, but Oakland strikes for 3. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Mike Trout to lead things off for the Angels, down 3-0. Halos will have to dig out from the hole that they are in. It is 3-0 Oakland. And if you're going to fall behind by multiple runs early, make sure it's early so at least you've got the full 9 to try to scratch and claw your way back. It's going to be tough against a very tough right-hander as Mike Trout will lead things off against Jared Parker. We'll give you the Angels starting 9 here momentarily. Trout off to a .250 batting average start. 3 doubles, no triples, no home runs, 1 run batted in. That occurred in Texas. This is his 100th career run batted in. Parker's first offering here in the bottom of the inning is just outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 24-year-old right-hander, native of Indiana. Very good season last year.
Yeah, good fastball, 89 to 94 slider curve, and a plus changeup.
It's in tight, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Parker's made 1 start. Took the loss going 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, walked 3, and struck out 1. That one is up and away. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. And you figure that the long top of the first inning affects the starter that's sitting on the bench waiting to get out there.
And that's when, as we're seeing out of Mike Trout here, you have to be patient with him. Make him throw some pitches.
And that's a 4-pitch walk. And the Angels get their leadoff man on board. Let's check out Mike Scioscia's starting 9 for game number 7 on the season for the Halos. Trout leading things off in left. Ibar is the shortstop. Albert Pujols back at his familiar first base. Josh Hamilton, the cleanup hitter. Mark Trumbo, the DH. Howie Kendrick at second. Alberto Callaspo at third. Chris Sinet is doing the catching, and Peter Borges bats 9th and will patrol center field.
Rick Ibar with some great numbers against Parker in his career. 625 batting average, 5 for 8. Good situation now to have some movement. Trout at first, Ibar at the plate.
Donaldson's in on the grass at third base as Eric looks at a strike. Eric's hitting .269. A couple of doubles, 1 run batted in. He's 1 for 7 from the right side of the plate, 6 for 19 from the left side here in the early going. Took throw to first. Trout's back easily. The start that Parker had his first of the year was against the Seattle Mariners. Gave up 4 runs, all earned. It was 5 innings of work through 95 pitches. Oakland lost its first 2 games and has won its last 5. There's that changeup.
Great movement on that pitch. 80 miles an hour. Set up perfectly by that 91 mile an hour fastball the pitch before. Again, you could steal some bases against Parker last season. Base stealer has been successful, 21 of 27 attempts.
One ball, 2 strikes. So not only do you have to kind of know in the back of your mind you've got a plus changeup in the arsenal, but you also got a 93 to 95 mile per hour fastball. It's got some movement on it.
And generally throws strikes. And like most pitchers on the A's, they will pitch inside very well.
See if Trout takes off here. He does. Ibar chops it to the right side. That's into right field. Mike Trout ends up at third base. Young bobbled it for a second, but Dino Ebel threw up the stop sign, and the Angels had runners at first and third with nobody out, and Albert coming up.
Boy, like that right there by Mike Scioscia, aggressively sending Mike Trout going on a hit and run, trusting that Eric Ibar can put the ball in play. And as Sizemore covers, that spot is vacant in the infield. Great job by Eric Ibar just putting that ball in play and going first and third and allowing Albert Pujols to come up and respond here in the bottom of the first.
Here's Albert. 211 average, a couple of home runs, 5 runs batted in. Time is called as Parker came set. Young man pitched in 4 games against the Angels last year, but 1 and 2, 2.60 ERA, 8 earned runs at 27 and 2/3 innings. First one's in tight. Oakland scoring 3 runs, sending 9 men to the plate at the top of the first inning. Courtesy of 3 walks and 3 hits. Trout at third, and it's Ibar at first base. 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes.
You understand what Parker's trying to do. Run that fastball inside on a power hitter, trying to negate that ability to get a ball up in the air, trying to run it in and get in a ground ball. Will give up a run for 2 outs.
How many of those pitches did Albert see last year through the first month of the season?
They lived in there, but he was chasing that pitch a lot. A lot more patience, a lot more walks this year already for Pujols.
Here comes the 2-0. Off speed pitch. Misses down and in. It's 3 balls and no strikes with Hamilton on deck.
No question, he will get a green light right here. The respect that Mike Scioscia shows Albert Pujols, knowing the strike zone. If he gets a pitch to drive, he's going to attack it.
And that's a strike. Pujols had dropped the bat, is headed to first.
That's a pitcher's pitch anyhow. You want to let that one go anyhow if you're Pujols. Low part of the strike zone at 94. You definitely let that go with 3-0. You look for something inner half and up on a 3-0 count.
So 3 balls and a strike with nobody out here at the bottom of the first. And that is hammered but foul.
Wow, it's a long way. But again, if you're Parker, you don't mind that. You're running the ball off the plate to the inside. It's very difficult to keep that ball fair. But Pujols so quick with his hands.
And that is, talk about bringing the hands inside. A long strike, a foul ball, and it's a full count.
And that ball had some movement and speed. Look for Ibar to be going here. 3-2.
Eric takes off. The 3-2 is downstairs. They're loaded up for Hamilton. Welcome home, Josh. The first one's a changeup that's in for a strike.
If I was going to guess, that would be certainly the pitch that was going to be thrown. You have the adrenaline. He's looking fastball. He's hit 9 home runs last season against first pitches. Changeup, very difficult to hit. Good idea for Hamilton to be patient.
0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Back-to-back changeups, and it's 0-2. Hamilton 0 for 8 in his career against Jared Parker. There's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he goes down swinging for the first down here in the first. 3 straight off-speed pitches.
That's the thing about Parker. He's not afraid to do so. When you have a good, we talked about a plus changeup, you're not afraid to throw that in hitters counts. You're not afraid to throw that back to back to back. When we refer to plus, that means you have an above average pitch that you're always going to go to in key spots.
And not only that, Gooby, it's that fastball plane that he throws that changeup on. It looks like it's coming out of the hand as a fastball on the outside corner, and it just dies off the plate.
It's all about the grip of the baseball. That takes the speed away. You think fastball, but it isn't.
Here's Trumbo, first one. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Mark hitting .250, has a home run, 3 runs, pardon me. 3 doubles on the year. Quick visit by Norris out to the mound. Trout walked on 4 pitches. Ibar on a 1-2 count single to right. Pujols walked on a 3-2 pitch before Hamilton struck out on the off speed. 3-0 Oakland. Bottom of the first. That's in the dirt. That is a do or die play by Norris. Right into the mitt.
especially when you overthrow a fastball like that in front of the plate. Very difficult to be able to block, but that ball found the mitt. He's going to get some part of his body on that baseball, but you don't know which way it's going to bounce off you. Derek Norris did a nice job of making sure the Angels didn't get a gift run there.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch. And it's 1-2. Trout at third, Ibar at second, Pujols at first. Now with Kendrick on deck. Ground ball to the left side. Donaldson has it. Feeds Sizemore for one. Relay to first in time. And Parker loads him up and gets out of it. No damage. We're through one. 3-0 Oakland. Leading the Angels by the score of 3-0. The Angels wasting a golden opportunity against Parker to get back into this one. Still in, of course, but bases loaded, no out situation. Tough play.
Let's take a look at our Kia standings in the AL West. Last season, the A's came from nowhere to win the division. Rangers won back, made the playoffs as a wild card. Angels, 89 wins, 5 games back in the Mariners. Ended up 19 games behind Bob Melvin's Oakland Athletics.
C.J. Wilson gave up 3 runs on 3 hits and 3 walks in the first inning. He'll face Coco Crisp. Grounded out to third base to lead off the ball game. First one's way upstairs. Crisp hits one in the air to deep left field. Going back on it is Trout. Still going back at the wall. Leaps up. Can't make the catch, and that's gone. A home run for Coco Crisp. The 4th straight game in which he has homered. And if I'm not mistaken, that is just now tied an Oakland A's record.
And Coco known more about his speed and his ability to get on base. Gets a fastball inner half, but up. The pitch he can drive from the right side. Doesn't hit many from the right side, but that's a pitch that could be driven out and just over the glove of Mike Trout in left field.
Fourth straight game with a home run from the leadoff spot for Coco Crisp. The guy you wouldn't think be the prototypical home run hitter. Hit 11 last year. And here's Chris Young. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 4-0 A's. This one's skied out toward right center field. Borges calls off Hamilton. 1 away. So Chris Young, the right fielder, is 0 for 2 tonight. Getting to start in place of the injured Josh Reddick. And Jet Lowry will come up. Lowry drew the walk, and that started the rally for Oakland in that first inning. Eventually came around to score. It's just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one's fouled back over the screen. So 3 runs in the first inning for Oakland. Leadoff home run by Coco Crisp to start the second. 1-2 pitch, and the breaking ball in the dirt. 2-2. And unless CJ turns things around very quickly here, it's going to be a bullpen game. That one's off the plate, a full count.
And you mentioned early on in that first inning, CJ with that ability to step forward to be in the eighth with Jerry Weaver being hurt right now for 4 to 6 weeks. A lot of times when you get that responsibility, it lifts you to that next level.
Ground ball to the left side. Callaspo's got it. 2 outs. So Cespedes will come to the plate, but nobody on. Cespedes also drew a walk. Eventually came around to score. All right, just missing with all of his pitches. Just can't find the right release point with any of them. He thought he had it with that one breaking pitch in the first inning. Dropped it in for a strike. Cespedes is tardy on that one. Fouls it off to the right.
Yeah, but when you walk a batter with 2 outs and the next batter you walk another one I should say, and then you start questioning where those pitches are in the zone. But the reality is your stuff is too good. You shouldn't even worry about that.
There's the fastball right by Cespedes, and it's 1-2 now.
I mean, CJ has electric stuff. He has 4 out pitches. That's what the mindset always has to be for CJ when he takes the hill.
And he gets him with a high fastball. The inning comes to an end, but Crisp with his home run tacks a run. It is 4-0 Oakland. Second inning, the Angels sending up Kendrick, Callaspo, and Iannetta against Jared Parker, who did a terrific job, if you're an Oakland A's fan, getting out of that bottom of the first. Bases loaded, no out situation. Strike out of Hamilton, and they got Trumbo to roll into a double play ball. First one's outside. 1 ball, no strikes on Kendrick. Hitting .217 on the young season. Has a home run. 1 run batted in. The Angels now, by the way, not to throw salt in the wound, 5 for 47 with men in scoring position this season. That is a batting average just over 100.
Well, that certainly will turn around. There's so much positive track records for a number of these hitters in the lineup for Mike Scioscia. That'll turn around. But just looking at what you mentioned about Parker got through that last inning, he threw a number of off-speed pitches. And when you're a young pitcher, most times when you're in a stressful situation, the game speeds up and you start trying to throw harder. Instead, he took a step back and threw 3 straight changeups that ended up getting him through the inning.
3-0 pitch is outside for the second straight inning. It's a 4-pitch walk. Hey fans, on Thursday the Halos will be taking on the Oakland A's in the finale of this series. That's a 7:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout blanket courtesy of Pechanga Resort and Casino while supplies last. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angel Stadium ticket office or log on at angels.com. Well, Howie is on board with the walk, the third issued by Parker. And here's Callaspo. One ball, no strikes.
Saw Mike Scioscia put a hit and run on with Mike Trout on first and Eric Ibar at the plate. Well, Callaspo handles the bat very well, and Howie has good speed at first. Will Oakland have the same setup where Sizemore covers the base this time, though?
Donaldson's in on the grass at third. That's a strike. Two-seam fastball on the inside part of the plate evens up the count. Alberto hitting .318 on the young season. Has a double, a couple of runs batted in. 1 home run for Alberto as well, and that was in Cincinnati. Not a very big lead for Howie at first. Off speed, loop to left field. Is it going to hang up for Cespedes? It does. He was playing shallow to begin with. There's the first out here in the second. Guy calling the balls and strikes tonight is Mike Muchlinski. Brian Knight over at first base. Jerry Davis is at second, and Dan Isonia is over at third. Muchlinski's been busy behind the plate already.
On a number of pitches out of the zone. Borderline pitches, though, but for the most part, we've seen replays that he's been right as far as being out of the strike zone.
Chris Iannetta swings through the first one. It's 0-1. Chris hitting .300. Has a couple of home runs. 5 runs batted in.
.375 career hitter against Parker. 3 for 8.
Quick throw over to first, and Kendrick is back.
Parker will mix in a slide step, but when he's throwing his changeup a little bit slower to the plate, that's the pitch. If you're a base stealer, you're going to try to pick to go on.
Ground ball to the left side. Donaldson cuts it off, feeds Sizemore for 1, and bobbles the ball on the transfer. Kendrick is called out for the second out. Iannetta will reach on the fielder's choice.
See if the Eagles can take advantage of that. It looked like it was going to be a tailor-made double play. Throwing like a palm ball for Donaldson to second base, and Sizemore trying to get out of the way. At that point, a little slower throw allowed Howie to get on top of him and forced him to be too quick with the transfer.
So 2 outs with Iannetta now at first base. And here's Borges. Hitter 4 for 12. .333 average. Home run, 1 RBI. Has a triple. We're talking about Kendrick at first base and the possibility of the stolen base with the struggles that Parker's had in that particular category. The Angels have 1 stolen base on the year. They are 1 for 3. And Kendrick is the guy that owns that stolen base.
And Norris only threw out 15% of would-be base stealers last year, so you would think that sets up a situation where you will be aggressive if you have guys on base.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball drops in there, 1-2.
Now, conversely, we saw in Cincinnati, Hannigan, what he threw out 44% of would-be base stealers. So you're going to be more apt to go hit and run rather than straight stealing.
Hannigan good behind the plate, and the entire staff very good at getting the ball to the plate as quickly as possible. This one's bounced up the third base line. That's a fair ball. Donaldson, the long throw, is not going to get Borges. Donaldson, a former catcher, very good arm, but that one little step back a little bit to his right, and that gives Borges a little extra time to get down the line, an infield base hit.
Borges so quick going down the line. Donaldson, though, on that play there, you're thinking in terms of the potential big inning going against you. You're preventing a double. You're still in position to make the play and try to throw out Borges. Unable to do so, but the reality is you kept him from getting a double down the line. So quick. Sensed infield hit and receives it.
It keeps the inning alive for Mike Trout. Drew a walk on 4 pitches in the first. Hynett at second, Borges at first. 4-0 Oakland here in the second inning.
Well, it's pretty clear if you're a hitter for the Angels right now. Parker goes when a stressful situation goes with his changeup. Now it's difficult to sit on a changeup, especially when a guy throws 93 to 95. But that's the pitch that he hasn't shown he can throw in the strike zone though yet with that type of movement.
How much of that though is predicated upon the lineup that you're facing and/or the guy at the plate in that particular situation?
Well, it depends on if that person's aggressive at the plate. You can expand the strike zone. Trout is already shown as a young hitter. He's got a good eye.
This one out towards center field. Crisp is coming on. He's there, makes the catch. And the Angels leave a man in scoring position once again. 2 in the books. It is 4-0 Oakland. If C.J. Wilson can have a clean inning, although he did have a 1-2-3 frame after the leadoff home run that he allowed to Coco Crisp in the second inning. 3 runs in the first on 3 hits, 3 walks, and the leadoff home run by Crisp. And for Coco, it's his 4th of the year. But C.J. did pick up his first strikeout as he blew a fastball by Yoenis Cespedes. It'll be Norris, Donaldson, and Moss. And I'd mentioned when Crisp hit that home run that I'm pretty sure that he had just tied a record. It's the 4th straight game with a home run from the leadoff spot, tying Wally Moses back in 1937. He had 4 straight games with a home run from the leadoff spot for the A's franchise.
Philadelphia A's back in those days.
You were a young lad wearing the old wool unis.
No question.
Emulating Wally Moses.
Why would you not? When
That's
you have
right.
4 straight games, leadoffs.
Coco had done it. Ricky Henderson had done it twice. Eric Burns had also done it. It's cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, you just feel if CJ could put up some zeros, that the Angels are going to get back in this game. They've had some good at-bats against Jared Parker so far. They haven't got that big hit yet, but they've had opportunities.
Norris fouls one back over the screen. It's a ball and 2 strike. The A's catcher is 1 for 1. A base hit in the first inning. Picked up an RBI, his second of the year. Eventually came around to score. Norris looks like he's dropped some LBs in the offseason and spring training. Just missed in. 2-2.
The grind of being a catcher every day. Not an easy thing to do. Make sure you're in the best condition you could possibly be in.
Kendrick backs up on it. And there's the first out. Before Donaldson comes up, we had a chance to catch up with Mike Butcher between innings and asked him about the inning that C.J. Wilson had in the first.
Well, he got 2 quick outs, and then it looks like he lost a little command. I think maybe the umpire affected some of the pitches. I don't know. I haven't looked at him on video or anything, but Chris was saying they're a little bit out of the zone, and just got to get him locked back in there and start pumping that strike zone in there.
There's Josh Donaldson. Looks at the strike.
Well, you just got to stay focused. When you're kind of around the zone a little bit, it's tough to get that close call, as you know, Gooby. And right now, I just need to get a little bit more plate and then expand when you get ahead.
This one out toward right field. Hamilton, the bare hand, kind of shading his eyes with that light standing out above the stands here along the third base line. 2 outs there. A little audio issue with your microphone. Not that I threw my voice to sound like you and kind of threw Butch off.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
No, but Mike Butcher's point was, the reality is, as you go out as a pitching coach, you just try to get them back into attacking the zone, trusting your fielders out there to make plays behind you. Even that tough play in right field for Josh Hamilton. He's not used to playing right field at this stadium, so you get that bank of lights when the ball's hit in there. You have to react on that, so it's still a learning process for him here too with the Big A.
1 ball, 1 strike, and it's interesting to note too that Mike Butcher mentioned going to the catcher Chris Inetta, and Chris saying that those pitches were just off the plate. This one lifted in the air. Looks like it's playable for Eric Ibar, who's cutting across. Cayaspo keeps the call and makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Wilson. We'll head to the bottom of the third, and the Halos still trailing. Leads the Halos by the score of 4-0. Coming up later on in the game, we have the Carl's Jr. Sports Update. We'll fill you in on the tough start for some of the aces around baseball and also the closer merry-go-round. We'll do that a little bit later on in this game. Here in the third, Ibar, Pujols, and Hamilton to face Jared Parker as 1 strikeout, 3 walks, 2 hits allowed, and has stranded 5 Angels on the base paths. Ibar showing bunt, looks at a fastball for a strike.
A little early for some managers to pull the plug on some closers, isn't it? Don't you think? But I guess we've been talking about it since spring. Those games here in April just as important, I guess.
Off speed pitch down and in. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Eric, who had a base hit in the first inning. A seeing eye single with Trout on the move. Two balls and 1 strike. Parker, former first-round pick, 9th overall by the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2007. Tommy John surgery in 2010. That's up and in. 3 balls and a strike. Came over from Arizona. Big trade with the Diamondbacks. Basically, Trevor Cahill. Big arm going to Arizona at the time.
Well, Cahill has struggled pitching at home in Arizona.
Just caught the inside corner to full count. Pujols on deck. Little bouncer to the right side. It's going to be a tough play for Sizemore, and he has trouble getting the ball from the glove to the bare hand. The leadoff man is on board for the 3rd straight inning for the Angels.
Real tough play for Sizemore coming in. Eric Ibar is very quick going down the line, especially batting from the left side. No chance to be able to get him out. Certainly not unusual for Eric Ibar. Get an infield base hit. Always amongst the leaders as far as bunts and infield hits in the American League.
Yeah, Ibar does get credit for that base hit. And here's Albert, who drew a walk in the first inning. Just to clarify, it wasn't just Parker and Cahill. Those were the 2 big players in that. Ryan Cook also came over along with Colin Cowgill. Cahill went along with Craig Breslow and that guy named Cash Consideration. One-oh count on Albert. Oakland with 3 in the first, 1 in the second. It's down and in.
Take a look at our Chevrolet most doubles all time. Albert Pujols 51st, tied with Babe Ruth. Ricky Henderson, one of the all-time great leadoff hitters, just ahead of him with 510 career doubles. Pujols with 50 of them last year.
Time is called as Adam Neville, the trainer for the Angels, is on his way to first base. Check out Eric Ibar.
You always wonder when you run down the line like that if something happened trying to beat out that infield hit.
Eric missed some time last year when he broke his right big toe, fouled the ball off his foot. And that's going to be it for Ibar. So Eric departs 2 for 2. Nobody out here in the third to go back to that infield base hit.
Like the heel of his foot as he landed on the base potentially. You can see his face. He kept going by the bag.
Hopefully it's just precautionary. It's Brendan Harris taking over at first base. Well, not what you want to see if you're an Angel fan. Not only hearing the news on Jared Weaver, the team falling behind 4-0 after 2 innings, and then you're seeing your starting shortstop limp off the field. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Pujols. 3-0. Hamilton on deck.
Well, the reality is you're always going to be tested as far as your 25-man roster, even your 40-man roster, as far as depth and what the season's going to bring. It's a fourth 3-0 count already in the game for Parker, which is unusual for him.
This line into center field, a base hit. Albert not taking on 3-0. Rockets that one into center. First and second, nobody out for Hamilton.
So good as far as keeping it in the back of his mind. Last time up, 3-0 pitch, fastball away. This time, fastball 3-0 count. Didn't waste time, drives it up the middle for a base hit. There's a reason why he is the machine, one of the all-time great hitters the game has ever seen.
Hamilton struck out in the first. All changeups. That came with the bases loaded, nobody out at that point. He's got first and second with nobody out here in the third. Harris, the base runner at second base. Pujols at first.
When he went at him with the fastball, you can almost guarantee he's throwing a changeup here.
But that's that same pitch, that same plane on the changeup in which he struck out in that first inning.
With that good movement just off the plate. Tried to force that changeup at that point. Kurt Young, the pitching coach for the A's, going to go out and talk to Parker. Kurt Young's done a nice job. He was very successful with the A's. They went over to Boston, now back last season, and you saw the results of that pitching staff for Oakland. Very aggressive in the strike zone, utilizing their changeups and pitching inside effectively.
It hasn't been a breeze for Parker, although he's made it look that way. He's gotten out of some serious jams, but he's been in pressure situations the first 2+ innings. The Angels just have not been able to capitalize against him.
That's why I mentioned CJ sitting on that bench. Hey, as a starter, if I could put some zeros up there, I might be able to sneak a win out, because we've had opportunities. Eventually, great hitters are going to capitalize on some mistakes made on the mound by Parker. And Hamilton being one of those great hitters right now.
Chris Young playing very shallow in right field. Crisp, as always, at normal depth in center. A couple of steps to the alley and right. 2-0. Sliced foul and out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Low ball hitter, got the fastball there too at 94.
I mentioned Chris Young. All 3 of these guys center fielders. That's probably as shallow a right field as you will see played here at the Big A. 2-1 pitch. It's in the dirt.
Well, certainly you would think that Parker's got to throw a fastball here, although he has a good changeup. We mentioned that. This changeup, if he throws it again, is out of the zone. You have the bases loaded, and potentially with Mark Trumbo's power, the game could be tied.
Fouled off. 92-mile-per-hour fastball away. It's a full count now.
Does Mike Scioscia send the runners here 3-2 with no outs? I don't think you take that chance, because if you're Norris, you're throwing behind and throwing to second base to be able to get pulls potentially if there is a swing and miss.
Left-handed batter up as well. Here's a 3-2, and that is out toward the alley in left center field, tailing back towards Cespedes. He'll make the catch. Pujols around second, has to hustle back to first base. Donaldson got the throw, fires at the first, and it's a double play. Off the bat, it had a chance. It looked like it had a chance to get into the alley, but that ball continued to tail back, and Cespedes got a great jump on it. A double play, 2 outs.
Well, we've mentioned this team has 3 center fielders, and when you're a center fielder, that means you're athletic enough to be able to cover a ton of ground. And because it's off the left-handed bat, it drifted back towards Cespedes as he covered that ground in left center field. Real good swing, real good approach by Josh Hamilton. Just did not get rewarded with a gapper. As Cespedes ran it down, and as Pujols has to go back and touch the base, he's going to be doubled up on a strong throw by Donaldson over to first base. So what looked like it potentially could have been a 2-run double ends up being a double play.
So 2 outs. Harris still at second base. Here's Mark Trumbo. Breaking ball in the dirt. Trumbull rolled into an inning-ending double play in the first. He's 0 for 1. One and one. Heads up play too by Donaldson, who, as a third baseman, you're watching the base runner situation. You see where Pujols is at. Cespedes is just firing the baseball back in.
Good communication.
Yeah.
You see Norris behind the plate too, screaming over towards Donaldson to make that throw to the first base. It's all about that communication with your teammates.
Change up. 2 balls and 1 strike. A 4-0 Oakland lead. They batted around in the first inning and scored 3 times. Coco Crisp with a leadoff home run in the second. Trumbull fouls that one back. Count is evened up.
Could be the one fastball Trumbo's going to get at this bat right now. First maybe talk to Parker, tell him to throw a slider away. See if Mark hit that ball in the right field. It's on the outer half of the plate.
Harris is the pinch runner at second base. He took over for Eric Ibar after he had an infield base hit. Still no word from downstairs on Ibar's injury. 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch, broken bat, looper out to shallow center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit, and the Angels are going to get on the board. 6th RBI for Mark Trumbull makes it 4-1 A's.
Well, this baseball game is a crazy game. A pitch off the end of the bat breaks the bat. This makes contact. They're able to fight it into the outfield for a base hit and RBI. Tough pitch, but a good job by Trumbo, just making some good contact. Little sand wedge, the pitch before when Josh Hamilton seared that ball to left center field. Doesn't get rewarded, but Mark Trumbo gets rewarded there with a base hit and RBI.
Marks at first. Here's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick drew a walk in the second. 1 of 3 base on balls issued by Parker. Go with 1 strikeout. The Angels finally break through. Man in scoring position tonight. 1 for 5 in that category. Ground ball toward the hole and past the diving Jed Lowry. Back-to-back hits for Trumbo and Kendrick with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, and Cayaspo will come up.
Oh, he's a couple good at bats so far. Worked the walk. His first at bat this time gets a ground ball by Lowry at shortstop, just underneath the glove. Well hit. You try to do too much with it, let the ball travel and hit it hard for a base hit.
So first and second, 2 outs. Casper to fly ball to Cespedes in the second inning. And all 3 outfielders very shallow for Oakland. This one's lined into center field, a base hit. Trumbo's coming around third. He's going to be waved in. Here comes a throw from Crisp. It is cut off, and it's a 4-2 Oakland lead.
Well, again, you're going to challenge Coco Crisp's arm. He's very good as far as covering a lot of ground in the outfield, but when the ball's hit at him, when he's charging, he's more apt to throw and try to make the play at the plate. A lot of times he'll try to hit the cutoff man because that ball was seared up the middle by Cayaspo. But no hesitation by Dino Ebel sending him home. And Mark Trumbo scores the 2nd run.
3 straight 2-out hits now for the Angels. First and second still, and here's Chris Iannetta. Some movement in the Oakland bullpen. Just guys Starting to stretch out the arms a little bit. Parker at 60 pitches. Both guys have thrown a lot of pitches for the first 3 frames. Wilson's been better of late. Breaking pitches in for a strike since giving up a home run to Coco Crisp. CJ's retired 6 in a row, including a strikeout.
Who got away with that one? That's a backup slider. Inner half. A lot of times with a right-handed batter up, you throw that pitch, that ball's crushed out of the yard.
Parker's thrown 26 pitches this inning. Swing and a miss. Kendrick at second and Callaspo at first. Borges, the 9th place hitter, is on deck. Now the 1-2. Just got a piece of it off the end of the bat. Chris Reesop, first man up, just playing light catch right now. Couple of glances back. Runners take off. Donaldson's got it right at the bag, and the inning comes to an end. The Angels strike for 2. 3 of the books. It is 4-2 Oakland. Top of the 4th inning. 8-9-1 coming up for the Athletics. Take a look at our AT&T Twitter poll question of the night. Which is the best Angels rival in their division? Hashtags are down at the bottom. Is it Oakland, Seattle, Texas? And the Astros, obviously, it's their first season. Have not quite developed.
Let's keep it that way. This is their first season in the AL West.
That rivalry.
But there's some pretty tough ones. We just saw that down in Texas, and certainly here, Big A with Oakland.
Brennan Harris remains in the game. He takes over at shortstop for Eric Ibar. Eric Ibar did jump into the lower left leg region as he got that infield base hit in the 3rd. Freeman looks at a strike. He's the designated hitter. Drew a walk in the 1st inning. No official at bat for him tonight. It's up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. CJ needing put up a 0 here in the 4th inning, get the offense back in that dugout. There's a strike.
The preferably be a quick inning also, because you want to get the hitters back to swinging against Parker. He made some mistakes last inning. Don't allow him to regroup in that dugout.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Freeman. There's out number 1. Second strikeout for Wilson. 7 consecutive batters retired by the lefty.
Both strikeouts on high fastballs. That's something he was working on in spring training, going upstairs, elevating the fastball when he needed to give a different look to a hitter. See Freeman tied up on that fastball up.
Scott Sizemore the bat. 1 ball, no strike count. He's 0 for 1. The fielder's choice that ended that 1st inning. There's a strike in at the knees. Mentioned Sizemore missing all of last year because of the knee injury, the ACL tear. 249 in 2011 with 11 home runs and 52 runs batted in. Former Detroit Tiger. Checked his swing and fouled it. 2-2.
Good pitch there by CJ. Now you made Sizemore aware of something in. Now the outer half of the plate should be open for you.
2-2, grounded to short. Brendan Harris gets tested. 2 outs.
Let's take a look at our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact. Cocoa Crisp. And also a great start. Homer now in 4 straight games with a home run, which is an Oakland A's record. Frank Thomas, the record back in 2006, the Big Hurt. Tonight's Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light. You wouldn't expect that power out of Cocoa Crisp. You expect speed, but the power has been there for him.
Off-speed pitch is in for strike 1. Coco's 1 for 2 with a ground out and that home run leading off the 2nd. Four home runs on the year, 6 RBIs now. Lays off. 2 balls and a strike. Mentioned Crisp had been swinging the bat well from both sides of the plate. 3 for 10 from the right side at the start of the day. 7 for 20 from the left side. Two and two.
He's a real good fastball hitter from both sides. If you can throw your changeup or slow curveball, that's a very effective pitch against him. Jer Weaver got him out a lot back from the left side throwing that slow curveball.
He reaches for that one. He goes down swinging. Another 1-2-3 inning for C.J. Wilson. Oakland still up 4-2.
AT&T U-verse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-AT&T. Rethink possible. And by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. Oakland on top by the score of 4-2 as we start the bottom of the fourth inning, and Peter Borges leading things off against Jared Parker. First one's in for a strike. The Angels have had their leadoff man reach in the first 3 innings. Walked to Trout in the first, walked to Kendrick in the second, a single. Infield base hit by Eric Ibar in the third. Manages 2 runs against the right-hander as Peter looks at a strike, and it's 0-2. Borges had an infield base hit himself in the second inning, so he's 1 for 1.
Parker going with fastball back-to-back pitches inside against Borges.
It's a little looping toward the middle. That's a base hit. So make that 4 straight innings in which the Angels have had their leadoff man reach, and the leadoff man coming up now.
See, that's why I'm not a huge fan of a fastball in 0-2, because the hitter is in protect mode. So you're just shortening up your swing, trying to make contact. You run a fastball in, although it wasn't a bad pitch for Parker, that Borges was up there to make contact, and he did so getting up the middle. Fastball away, breaking ball away is a very effective pitch. Inside is not. Kurt Young making another visit to the mound to talk to Parker to give his bullpen a little more time to get ready.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Rehschoff is back up now and loose, and he was just playing catch in the 3rd inning. So he's going to crank it up here. That base hit by Borges is the 8th for the Angels through 3+ innings and a batter. Now the third time I should say through the order. Trout coming up. Trout has walked and hit a fly ball to center field. 0 for 1. Donaldson will play in at third base just in case. So the pitch count for Parker. 2 of those 3 walks coming in the first.
A lot of speed at first base and a lot of speed at the plate here. Makes it very dangerous if you're a pitcher, because you have to be aware of Borges and his ability to steal a base, but you're also thinking in terms of you got one of the best hitters in the game at the plate in Mike Trout.
Time is called as Mike Maslinski, the home plate umpire, comes out.
Two balls and no strikes.
With his fastball again, trying to run inside two-seamer. Great running action, but no chance of staying close to the zone. Almost gets Trout in the knee. 6-2-0 counts for Parker. It's going to be a situation where you might see Bob Melvin go to the bullpen here shortly.
This one looped in the air to shallow right field. Sizemore going out and can't make the catch. Borges will stay at second base. Well, really surprised with Chris Young playing as shallow as he was, and he allowed Sizemore to remain in control of that pop-up.
And the thing is Sizemore is coming back from a knee injury the year before, so you're more apt to look and hope that someone calls you off as an outfielder. He's going a long way because he's in double play depth, keeps drifting out.
It looked like, sorry, Gooby, it looks like Sizemore maybe even tweaked his knee.
That's why you hope that Chris Young's going to call him off. Well, you hope he's okay. He's battled his way all the way back from last year, but looks like he is going to have to leave. Right there, the limp. Well, you hate to see that because Scott is a very good baseball player. Fought his way back to be on this roster here to open up the season.
Eric Sogard takes over at second base now for Sizemore. And granted, we just saw a replay, obviously very slow motion, but we keep talking about how shallow a right field Chris Young has played. That ball seemed to hang up there for a while too.
Well, and you want, as an infielder going back, you're hoping you get called off early so you can get out of the way and allow him to have a free track at the baseball. Because we talked about this outfield defense, Rogan, all center fielders by trade, so you know they're very athletic and get good reads on the baseball.
That's a second middle infielder in this game that has been pulled due to an injury. Ibar was taken out after an infield base hit in the third inning, and now Sizemore taken out. And that flare base hit by Mike Trout. So the Angels have runners at first and second with nobody out. And here's Brendan Harris.
You got to believe Mike Scioscia is going to put a bunt on here for Harris. A lot of speed on the bases here with Borges and Trout. Then you have Albert Pujols on deck.
Donaldson in on the grass, as is Moss over at first base. First plate appearance for Brennan. This one's bunting on the first base side. Good bunt. Parker will throw on to first. Sogard's covering. Borges will advance to third. Trout over to second base.
Good fundamental baseball. Good job by Brendan Harris getting the job done. Good, a nice ground ball is short, and then asked by Mike Scioscia to get the job done. Done a perfect bunt, forces Parker to make out the good play on this ball. Now, do they pitch the Pujols here?
That looks like they're going to. Albert's drawn a walk, picked up a single into center field, so he's 1 for 1. Breaking pitch in the dirt.
Now, part of it is because it's a right-handed pitcher going against a right-handed batter.
They got him. So they're loaded up for Hamilton. That's going to be it for Jared Parker. Bob Melvin's making the move. And it'll be Chris Resop coming into this ball game with the bases loaded in a 1-out situation here in the fourth. Angels trailing at 4-2. Rethink possible, and by Kia. Visit your Southern California Kia retailers or mysocalkia.com. We're at the bottom of the fourth inning here at the Big A, 4-2 Oakland. The Angels have the bases loaded with 1 out, and Jared Parker is no longer in the ballgame. Parker responsible for the 3 guys that are on base. Walked 3, struck out 1, has allowed 9 hits. That's the former Angel himself, albeit for just one season. It's Chris Resop comes in, and our in and out, who is in, who's out.
Big Chris Resop has done a nice job, particularly against left-handed batters this year. 0 for 6. Fastball 90 to 94. Those nearly 68% of his pitches are fastballs. This is in a cut fastball. Very good changeup himself and a curveball.
Now, Resop, originally in the Florida Marlins organization, came over to the Angels in the Kevin Gregg deal in 2006. Got into 4 games as a member of the Angels in 07. He's pitched for the Braves and the Pirates since. He's got Borges at third base, Trout at second, Pujols at first. Albert was hit by the last pitch that Parker threw in this game. Hamilton is 0 for 2. He struck out with the bases loaded in the first and hit a fly ball into a double play in the third inning when Pujols rounded second, had to head back to first and got doubled up. The first one is an off-speed pitch, fouled off. 0-1.
Changeup, but it was elevated, allowed him to keep his hands back, even though his body was shifting forward. Resop got away with that pitch.
Outfield straight around for Oakland. Coco Crisp a couple of steps to the alley in right center, and Young back a couple of steps this time up. Infield playing back at double play depth. Fourth game that Resop has pitched in for Oakland. 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed pitch, fouled back. 1-2. Resop last year with Pittsburgh, a 1-4 mark and a 3.91 ERA, pitching in 61 games. Oakland with 3 in the first, 1 in the second. The Angels with 2 in the third, and threatening here in the fourth. Here comes the 1-2. In and out of the glove of Norris.
Boy, if Norris frames that pitch, that's going to be pretty close. Wonder if he got crossed up on it. Had to paint the outside corner. Boy, that's close. If you catch that ball and frame it, you may have a chance, but once it goes out of the catcher's glove, you're not going to get that borderline pitch. Now does he come back with a changeup?
Lays off. And a full count with Trumbo on deck. Here comes the payoff. Fouled it off.
Wow, real good job staying alive. That's a tough pitch. Changeup, borderline pitch, but you have to protect. Real good spot. Running away from him, but just fouled off a tough pitcher's pitch. So you have to have a lot of guts in your changeup to throw a 3-2 changeup.
Another 3-2 and bounces this one back toward the mound, and he'll flip to home and they get the force out. Oh, he jammed him. Good location in on the hands. And now there are 2 outs of the bases loaded and Trumbo coming up.
Well, I thought initially it looked like it was got him in the foot. Resop did not panic on this play there. If you're a youngster in a ground ball situation like this at home, all you're thinking in terms of is the out at home. Don't hurry your throw because you end up trying to think you can get a double play, but you're not going to do that.
So Trout's now over at third base, Pujols at second, and Hamilton at first. With 2 outs. Trumbo's 1 for 2. Rolled into a double play in the first. Singled home a run and scored in the third. The RBI for Mark is 6th of the season. Reese Hops 1-0. Broken bound roller to the left side. Donaldson picks it up. And the Angels again waste a golden opportunity for the books. Oakland remains on top 4-2. Way the Trout Farm, presented by the Smile Generation, is the official cheering section for outfielder Mike Trout. Groups sitting in this section will receive an exclusive Trout Farm shirt with their purchase. For more information and to purchase tickets, just log on at angels.com/groups. It is the top of the 5th. C.J. Wilson back out on the mound, 4-2 Oakland. A's sending up Young, Lowry, and Cespedes, 2, 3, and 4. Chris Young, the right fielder, 0 for 2 with a ground ball to short and a fly ball to center field. Breaking pitch is in for a strike. And the Angels have stranded 9 base runners tonight. That one misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Collectively 2 for 9 with men in scoring position.
Some tough pitches thrown to him, but they just need to relax at the plate. Sometimes as a hitter in those spots, you try to do too much instead of allowing the pitcher to make a mistake to you and then capitalize and hit the ball up the middle.
Jared Parker went 3 1/3. 9 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. Count even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wilson has 3 walks, all in the first inning when he faced 9 batters. Gave up 3 runs. CJ's also struck out 3. CJ has struck out 4.
Real good life on that fastball again, inside corner. As a left-handed pitcher, that's difficult to have that mindset to go inside with a fastball against a right-handed power hitter, but he did so. with conviction.
There's Jed Lowry, the shortstop. He shoots one towards right field. Hamilton giving chase, dives and makes the catch for the second out.
Where, like we said with Oakland, 3 center fielders by trade in the outfield for the Angels. The great route, cuts off the angle, and is able to dive and make an outstanding play, prevent an extra base hit.
At least a double, if not a triple, for Lowry. So 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th inning. Here's Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes is 0 for 1. Drew a walk and scored in the first. Speed pitch. Up and away. Oakland with 4 runs on 4 hits. They've stranded 3. The Angels 2 runs, 9 hits. They've left 9 men on base. Eric Ibar left this game. Undisclosed injury. Brendan Harris is a shortstop. Scott Sizemore has departed from this game because of an injury as well, the second baseman for Oakland. Wilson at 91 pitches so far with 2 outs here in the 5th. Of those 92 pitches now, CJ threw 43 of them in the first when he saw 9 batters. Ground ball up the line, backhanded by Callaspo. Long throw across, and it pulls Pujols off the bag. Infield base hit for Cespedes.
Boy, real good play by Callaspo on the backhand, but long, strong throw across that pulls Pujols off the base. Prevents an extra base hit, though. And a wise decision by Pujols. A lot of times you'll see a guy try to stretch out there and the ball gets by him, ends up being at second base. Good idea as a first baseman to get off the base, give up your body, keep that ball in front of you.
Snaps a string of 11 consecutive batters retired by Wilson. So he'll work for the stretch for the first time since that first inning. And he'll face the catcher, Derek Norris, who's 1 for 2. Halos in the bottom of the inning will have Kendrick, Callaspo, and Iannetta coming up. Norris lays off the breaking ball. Six-game homestand, 3 against Oakland and 3 against the Houston Astros, who finally awoken from their slumber offensively. 13-0. They lead the Seattle Mariners in the top of the 5th up at Safeco. Checked his swing and missed upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, they've been struggling scoring runs. Texas, they struck out, what, 43 batters or something like that in that first series against them?
Yep. Told that Eric Ibar is listed as day-to-day, a left heel contusion.
So he felt like when he stepped on the base as he's tried to stretch out to be able to get that infield hit.
2 balls and a strike on Norris. Off the end of the bat, 2-2.
So often you see that as the runner's going down the line, they try to stretch out and hit the base. That's when the injury occurs. Another infield hit for Ibar, stretching out, hit the heel on that base. and had to leave the game.
Cespedes is still at first base with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Norris. Fastball, got him looking. Second strikeout of the inning, 5th overall for Wilson. But Oakland still on top, 4-2.
Extra mile index. The AL leaders as far as starters in 2012. Tampa led the American League in ERA 3.34, but Oakland at 3.80 and the Angels 5th at 4.04. That's starters in the AL as far as best ERA in 2012.
Oakland leads this one 4-2. Both starters very shaky. Parker done after 3 1/3. Wilson has gone 5. Gave up 3 runs in the first inning and 1 in the second. It'll be Kendrick, Callaspo, and Iannetta here the 5th against Chris Friesa. Came on with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Hamilton hit into a fielder's choice and Trumbo to ground out to get out of that jam. Now he's 1 for 1 with a walk and a base hit.
Boy, he jammed 2 hitters, Hamilton and Trumbo last inning. Reese did a great job picking up not only the A's but also Jared Parker, who had struggled.
Yep. 1 on an off speed pitch. That was Hamilton in, and then that sinking fastball just bore down on the hands of Trumbo. Snapped his bat. That's a bouncer up the line and bounces foul. Okay, Howie at first hobbled as if that ball hit off his foot. Took a couple of steps towards first, and then
he tried to sell. You can see his smile. Like he knew initially there was going to be potentially be an out, so he tried to sell the fact that it might have hit his foot. Unfortunately for Howie, it trickled foul. Good view here. Pretty close.
He's just thankful that ball kicked left and foul. Count remains at 0-2.
Boy, this Oakland staff can pitch to both sides of the plate. They'll throw fastballs away, but they also will throw that fastball inside. And you've seen that throughout the bullpen, their starters, their young pitchers coming up. It's a philosophy they have in their system as far as being able to throw fastballs in, but also throw a changeup. And a lot of them have plus changeups in this staff.
Fouled off. Spinning breaking ball. Count remains at 0-2. Reshop, a native of Naples, Florida. 4th round pick of the Florida Marlins back in 2001. One ball, 2 strikes. Big right-handers pitched in Japan as well. Part of 2008 and all of 2009. Back up the middle, off the body. That's going to go for an infield base hit. That's the 10th hit tonight for the Angels.
3rd good at bat for Howie Kendrick. A walk first at bat and back-to-back hits for him. Ground ball in the hole between short and 3rd, and that went back up the middle.
5 straight innings to start this ball game. The Angels have had their leadoff man reach, and they've scored 1 run out of that.
Boy, great approach. Up the middle, off the glove of Reshop. But yeah, you're right, Victor. I mean, when you have leadoff batters reach base, generally that means you're going to give up a run or 2. So at some point, you have to capitalize as an offense when you're given these opportunities.
Callaspo comes up 1 for 2. RBI single his last time up. Alberto will look at a strike. Donaldson playing it on the grass. We've seen that quite a bit. A lot of third baseman scouting reports or what have you playing in on Callaspo.
I'm still figuring out where these scouting reports are coming from. You don't see Callaspo ever try to push a bunt down the third base line. And then you pitch away, so it makes the third base susceptible to a hard hit ball get by him at third base. Just an odd situation.
Outfield very shallow all the way around. Especially the corner outfielders, Cespedes at left and Young at right. Kendrick over at first.
Might have been leaning there. Reshop, a long delivery to first allows him to maybe potentially get another step in his lead.
Mentioned the Angels with only 1 stolen base this year, and Kendrick is the proud owner of that bag. Caught twice. Looked like how he started, then kind of stopped on the off-speed pitch. The slide step.
Yes, you are going to be quicker to the plate when you do that slide step, but you're more apt to make a mistake with your pitch. You elevate because it drops your elbow because you're too quick.
So it's 2 balls and a strike.
Certainly a good hit and run count now with a 2-1 count. Assuming you're going to get a fastball, and it'll be up to Callaspo to hit the ball on the ground.
Now he takes off. It's fouled off to the left. So Kendrick will head back to first.
Howie had a good jump too, and the pitch was down, but Callaspo got underneath on the swing.
Count evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Inez on deck. Off speed, bounced foul. Oakland off to another good start from the pitching standpoint. Offense has been solid, especially the red hot Coco Crisp, Jet Lowry, No Josh Reddick in the lineup because of the jammed wrist and injury that he suffered in Houston. They're not sure if he'll play in this series, although he's listed as day-to-day. Off speed, pulled foul.
Yeah, they've been averaging over 5 runs a game,
Yeah.
which is pretty impressive for Oakland. Remember last year at one point, beginning part of the year, up to almost June, they were at the bottom in all offensive categories. Yet they stayed afloat. Bob Melvin allowed this team to start to gel together. And boy, once interleague play came around, they just took off and were dominant the second half.
1 week through. Obviously doesn't mean a whole lot right now, but first in home runs as a team with 12, second in runs with 38. They lead this one 4-2 here in the 5th. Howie takes off. The breaking ball's cut on and miss. A throw down to second. It's not in time. So Cayasco goes down swinging for the first down here in the 5th, and Kendrick is in scoring position.
Howie 2 for 2 this year as far as stealing bases. Easy gets in there on that slow curveball, got a good jump. Resop, and that one was not worried about a slide step. It's a little slower to the plate.
All right, that is 0 for 2. A couple of fielder's choices. Oh, 1 count. Talking about the A's offensively, the pitching again off to a terrific start. All of their starters have the decisions. They are 5-2 with a 3.09 ERA collectively as a starting staff. The bullpen with no record in a 2.33 ERA. Second overall in the American League here in the early going as far as team earned run average. Kind of an uncharacteristic start for Jared Parker today, at least from what we've seen of him. The 4 games he pitched against the Angels last year. It's odd to see him throw so many pitches out of the strike zone and walk the 3 guys that he did in his 3 1/3 and be done in 3 1/3.
Completely odd, especially when Kurt Young, the pitching coach, ran out there so many times to talk to him.
1-1 on the way. Resop just keeps running that 2-seamer down and in on righties.
And that philosophy of pitching inside. I mean, I think when you look at the strength of this Oakland A's team, I still think it's their bullpen. They have a lot of different arms down there, all hard throwers, different arm angles. That's why they were able to win those extra inning games last year, because their bullpen was so strong.
Speaking of arm angles, Pat Neshek is up and warming up now for Oakland. There he is.
Yeah, that's not textbook mechanics, but it creates deception. There's no question.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Chris Iannetta with Kendrick at second. 1 out. He strikes him out. Back-to-back punch outs for Resop. 2 down. Resop hasn't been overpowering, but because of that sinking fastball, he's pitching to both sides of the plate and getting hitters to think on both sides of the plate.
And that's the thing, he's pitching east to west a lot in his outing here.
Borges is 2 for 2 tonight. A couple of singles. Won the infield variety. Wilson slated to come back out of the 6th inning. He'll be facing Donaldson, Moss, and Freeman. 6, 7, and 8 for the A's. Little dribbler towards short. Lowry comes charging in. The Angels leave a man in scoring position. We are through 5, and still Oakland on top 4-2. Matchups as the Braves take on the Nationals, or the defending World Series champion Giants take on the Cubs at Wrigley Field, or Braves Red Sox. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Chevrolet returns this week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's a great matchup, Braves and Nationals.
Boy, the Braves are playing well. That outfield, did you see that home run that Justin Upton hit yesterday in Miami? It was colossal.
It is a pretty good lineup. C.J. Wilson back out on the mound for the top of the 6th inning. Angels down 4-2. Wilson with 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. Spotted the A's a 4-0 lead through 2 innings. The Angels chipped away with 2 runs in the 3rd, but it's been a struggle for the Halos tonight, as it has been through the first week of the season, to score runs. Situational hitting has been really a huge problem for the Angels here in the early going. Donaldson hits one in the air towards left center field. Not hit very deep. Trout comes on, and there's the first down. That was the 100th pitch of the game for CJ.
In good communication between Mike Trout and Peter Borges in the outfield right away. Mike Trout threw the glove up, called for that play. That way you don't have anybody run into each other, because you got 2 players out there in left and center that can absolutely fly for baseball. So communication becomes even more important.
This one shot into right field. First pitch swinging was Moss, the off speed. He picks up his 2nd hit of the game. 2 for 3 now with a couple of runs batted in. Nate Freeman, the DH, will come up. Freeman has drawn a walk and has struck out. 26-year-old Massachusetts native. Fouls one back behind the plate. Look at the seats. 0-1 count. Bouncer up the line, but foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Freeman last year with San Antonio, 24 home runs, drove in 105. 22 home runs the year before at Lake Elsinore with 111 runs batted in.
Certainly a big, strong guy at the plate.
He's claimed off waivers, Houston Astros, in March. 0-2. Way upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Angels have action in their bullpen. Scott Downs is getting ready. And it looks like Neshek will be coming on in the bottom of the 6th inning, with the top of the order coming up for the Angels. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. 2 down.
2nd time in a row that CJ has gotten Freeman swinging. Last time up, fastball up. This time, hard breaking ball down and in.
So Eric Sogard will come up. This will be his first plate appearance tonight. He took over defensively for Scott Sizemore, but he appeared to hurt his knee. A bloop single by Mike Trout. Sogard lays off the breaking ball. He wanted a peel and did not go. 1 ball, no strikes. 7th game for Sogard this year. He's 3 for 19. Has an RBI. Two balls, no strikes.
This is a guy for C.J. Wilson you want to get with Coco Crisp on deck. Sogard known for his ability to handle the bat, but more so for the glove.
Sogard got into a career high 37 games in the big leagues last year with Oakland. Hit 167, a couple of home runs, 7 runs batted in. That's a strike. Sogard, a product of Arizona State University. 2-1. 2-2. Brandon Moss standing at first. 1-out single for him. Crisp on deck. 110th pitch of the evening will be coming up. They check in on Moss.
More than likely a last batter regardless for CJ. For CJ, you want to be able to get Sogard out, have an opportunity to be able to potentially get a win if your club can score 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Sogard. The inning comes to an end. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Oakland still leads it 4-2. He's leading the Angels 4-2 as we start at the bottom of the 6th inning. A tale of 2 pitchers yet again for CJ in his 2nd start of the season.
Yeah, that first inning, 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 earned runs allowed. Next 5 innings, solid. Trusted his stuff. 7 strikeouts, no walks. But the reality is, we talked about in that first inning with a couple of bats, especially with Brandon Moss, how the game was on the line. You can't allow those big innings in the first inning because you lose momentum.
First 2 batters retired to start the game and then faced 7 more in that first. Here's Pat Neshek replacing Chris Risa. Neshek will face Trout, Harris, and Pujols for the Angels here in the 6th inning.
Neshek's certainly not going to overpower you with a fastball, 85-89, but does have a very good slider, and he'll throw over 60% of his pitches for sliders, occasional changeup.
This one hit in the air out toward right field, hit very well. Chris Young is going back at the wall, and that is off the top of the fence. Trout at second. He is turning it on, heading to third, and he is in there with a lead-off triple.
Tell you what, that is insane speed. Once I get off the wall, Chris Young was in position to be able to get that in quickly, but Mike Trout just turned it on when he got around by second base. Off the wall, and a nice job by Young getting it in, but how quick that swing is and how quick he is when he senses he has a chance at a triple. Turns it,
cuts that inside part of the base as well as anybody you'll ever see running the bases and slides in for his first triple of the year.
Brendan Harris will step up. He had a sacrifice bunt at his first plate appearance in the fourth. Donaldson playing it at third, everyone else back. Harris will look at a strike. There's that frisbee slider from Neshek. Neshek was spectacular for this Oakland bullpen last year. Pitched in 24 games, a 2-1 mark and a 1.37 ERA. Oh, 2.
And again, now, if you're Brendan Harris, especially now behind in the count here, it's very difficult to be able to pick up the baseball at a Neshek who throws from a tough angle. But now, if you hit a ground ball in the middle of the infield, yes, you might make it out, but you'll get the run home.
This one's popped up on the first base side. Moss over near the railing, runs out of room. A couple of former teammates facing each other, Neshek and Harris. These are the Minnesota Twins organization.
Well, as an infielder, you see Neshek over the years, you would see and know his tendencies.
This one's out toward right field. Young was playing shallow, gets back and he drops the baseball off his glove. Trout will score. Harris to second, and the Angels are down by a run. What should have been just a routine sacrifice fly instead will more than likely go as a huge error for Chris Young and the A's, and it keeps the inning alive with nobody out and a man in scoring position.
Well, we talked about and touched on how Chris Young plays such a shallow right field. And Brendan Harris did a nice job of making good contact and getting the ball in the air, which would have driven in the run. But instead, you now have a man on second, the potential tying run with one of the all-time greats to play in Pujols.
It'll go down as a sacrifice fly and an error. Albert takes that pitch inside. Albert lays off the breaking ball, and it's in for a strike. Albert thought that pitch was down. Count is evened up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
The breaking pitch once again gets a lower part of the strike zone, one of our box tracks.
Ground ball to the left side. Backhanded and bobbled by Lowry. He has no play.
Well, a couple of breaks in this inning so far for the Angels. Could have potentially been a play where they had to play at third base. But Lowry not able to make the play. With ground ball in the hole, well, there's definitely going to be a play potentially at third base, but I think because of that, he makes the mistake.
Bob Melvin out to the mound, and Jerry Blevins is coming on. The Angels down by a run. couple of mistakes by the Oakland A's. The Angels trying to capitalize. They have already on 1 run. A drop fly ball by Chris Young was a sacrifice fly, and that allowed Harris to reach second with nobody out. And now the ground ball error by Jed Lowry. As Jerry Blevins comes into the ball game, lefty-lefty matchup. Josh Hamilton will come up.
Blevins did a nice job last season. Once again, very effective from the left side. Fastball 87 to 92. Has a curveball, slider, and the changeup. But you'll see a lot of sliders here to Josh Hamilton.
5-1 record last year, a 2.48 ERA, 63 games for Bob Melvin and the A's. Donaldson in on the grass at third base. And here comes the first one. Josh fouls it off the left. Brennan Harris, the base runner, at third. Pujols over at first. Moss holding Pujols at first base. Hole on the right side of the infield. This one down the left field line, tailing foul and out of play. Another off-speed pitch.
As we suspected, slider away, slider away. Now you would think Blevins is going to even try to expand that zone even more so with another breaking ball away.
5th game for Blevins this year, 3 1/3 innings, got 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. No record, no ERA. Mark Trumbo is the man on deck. In the air towards center field. That should be deep enough to tie this one up. Crisp with the catch. Here comes Harris. We are knotted up at 4.
A job well done by Josh Hamilton, especially behind an account. Got a pitch that was elevated enough, not executed well by Blevins. It comes through with a big sacrifice fly to center field to tie it up.
It's the first down here in the 6th inning. 3rd RBI for Hamilton. Bob Melvin is going out to the bullpen. A pitching change. A brand new ball game. 4-4 here in the 6th.
How we got tied up in this game. Brendan Harris, Mike Trout at third base at the sac fly that Chris Young could not catch. Not only scores the run, but goes into scoring position himself. Then with a ground ball by Albert Pujols, the shortstop Jed Lowry may have a play at third, has no play. 1st and 3rd. Then with an 0-2 count, Josh Hamilton gets a pitch up and drives in Brendan Harris as the game is tied here at 4, capitalizing on the mistakes made by Oakland's defense.
Trout starting things off with that triple, his first of the year. And because the Angels have tied things up here, C.J. Wilson has, what do they say, Cooper?
Spit the hook?
Spit the hook.
Still, and potentially can get the W here.
Ryan Cook comes on to face Mark Trumbo. One out, and Pujols standing at first base. Cook last year 71 games, 6-2 mark, a 2.09 ERA. And the first one's a fastball right down Broadway in its own one.
Well, the SC grad has power fastball. As you can see there, he's 93 to 98 range. Hard slider, changeup.
25 years of age. Last year, his first with the Oakland A's. As we pointed out, came over with Jared Parker in the Trevor Cahill deal from the Diamondbacks. 1 ball, 1 strike. He was a 27th round pick out of USC by the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2008.
With that arm, how did you fall to the 27th round? Great arm, great life on his slider also.
Trumbo 1 for 3, had an RBI single and scored a run in the 3rd. Chopper off the plate. Lowry has to lay back on it. They'll force out Pujols at second, and that's it. So Trumbo reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 outs down. Here comes Howie. Howie has walked and picked up a couple of singles. So he's 2 for 2. He's also picked up a stolen base, his 2nd of the year. Ryan Cook, an all-star last year for the A's, the lone representative for the Athletics.
Closed for a while for the A's until Brent Balfour took back that role as the closer for Oakland.
2 balls and no strikes. And 2 saves in 9 games against the Angels last year. There aren't too many guys that come out of that Oakland pen and we say doesn't have very good stuff. Off speed master. A lot of very good arms. Neshek, a situational guy. Blevins, a situational guy. Everyone else.
Doolittle, Cook, Balfour. And they can rush it up there.
And with bravado. Here it is.
Yeah, they will challenge.
They will challenge, there's no doubt. Quick throw to first. 2 runs here for the Angels in the 6th inning. A couple of big errors by Oakland. One by Chris Young, the other by Jed Lowry. Now the 2-1. Oh, he pulls this one. That is just foul. Third base umpire Dan Isonia with a quick call. Also had to get out of the way of it.
Boy, how quick are those hands from Howie Kendrick running that fastball in off the plate like that, been able to tuck him in and just miss that ball down the line. But this is 96 on your hands, yet you're still quick enough to hit that ball down the line. That didn't go foul by a lot.
Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Short lead for Trumbo. This one's out toward right field. Young coming to his left, can't get it. That trickles all the way to the wall. Trumbo's coming around, he will score. Howie on his way to 3rd. The Angels lead it 5-4.
Boy, what a game for Howie Kendrick. 4 times on base, walked once, 2 hits, now a triple here against a very tough pitcher in Ryan Cook. Chris Young tried to cut the angle off. We talked about it a number of times already tonight, how shallow he plays. And that's a great approach. That's a fastball run in on the hands of Howie, but yet he was strong enough to get it by Young and gets a triple. His first triple of the season. Then his third RBI.
Here's Caspo. Now Berto looks at a strike. And now C.J. Wilson, who was down 4-2 when he finished his 6 innings, has a chance for a W. 0-1 pitch. Foul back.
Well, we talked about this offense with Tim Salmon in the pregame show, how dynamic this offense can be. And there's been some times they could have scored some more runs, but the reality is when you get that many hits, 12 hits, put it across 5 runs, now you got that lead. This is a very good offense, top through to the bottom of that lineup.
0-2. Breaking pitch, just got a piece of it to keep his at-bat alive. The triple by Kendrick, the 12th hit of the night. And it bears repeating every time we see a batter up in a crucial situation. We talk about Chris Young and how shallow he's playing right field. He just didn't have much of a chance with that ball slicing away from him. Alberto strikes out, swinging. The inning comes to an end, but not before the Angels take the lead with a 3-run 6th inning, 5-4 Halos.
It's 5-4 here in the top of the 7th. It's time to take a look at our Carl's Jr. sports update around Major League Baseball. Tough start for Aces and the closer merry-go-round. Boy, Halladay struggling in Philadelphia. Jared Weaver on the disabled list for the Angels. Some big-time aces struggling, and obviously with some injuries situations, and closers already knocked out, which is incredible when you think about this 6-7 games into the year. Axford for Milwaukee, no longer a closer.
Yep.
Just surprising this quick to be able to make that decision, to be able to take them out. But the importance of winning games in April doesn't allow that manager to be relaxed and allow them to fight their way through things.
No, we saw how difficult it was for the Angels after an 8-15 start in the month of April to get back in it. Got to get off to a good start. Angels coming into this with a 2-4 mark. Fell behind 4-0, but now lead at 5-4 as we start the 7th. Scott Downs on in relief of C.J. Wilson, and he will face 1, 2, and 3. Crisp, Young, and Lowry for the Oakland A's.
And Scotty Downs is a fastball, not overpowering, but spots it well both inside and out. Good sweeping breaking pitch, solid changeup.
Coco Crisp is 1 for 3. Solo home run leading off the 2nd. One of 6 hits that C.J. Wilson allowed in his 6 innings of work. Ended up striking out 7 and walking 3. Check swing bouncer Brendan Harris tried to barehand it. Chris breaches with the infield single.
That's all you basically can do with Coco Crisp going down the line. We talked about his speed, big part of his game. Brandon Harris tried to use the bare hand because you have to field that ball not only with the bare hand, but you have to throw in one motion to be able to get Crisp going down the line.
And if you weren't with us earlier, Brendan Harris in the game for the injured Eric Ibar. Left heel contusion for Eric, and that's why Brendan is playing at the shortstop position. We got word too from the Oakland clubhouse. Scott Sizemore left with a left knee strain. That was on that bloop single that Mike Trout hit in the 4th inning. Here's Chris Young, the right fielder. 0 for 3 tonight. Ground out, fly ball to center, and a strikeout.
Certainly a lot of speed at first base with Coco Crisp. 39 stolen bases last year, 49 in 2011.
Good off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2.
And he's got Crisp leaning back towards first base.
Fourth game for Scott Downs this year. 0-2 and a 7.71 ERA. 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks. This one off the end of the bat up the first base line, and it trickles foul. And again, on that delivery, had Coco Crisp kind of jelly-legging it a little bit at first base.
Yeah, he's not getting a good read against Scott Downs.
Another 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is the 500th game in Scott Downs' career. Kentucky native. Coco Crisp with the infield single stands at first. 1-2 to Chris Young. Pulled foul.
And Coco still having a tough time getting a read against Downs. So if you get a ground ball, you have a good chance to be able to turn a double play. Considered an infielder because he's not going to be able to take out the fielder at second base because he's having a tough time getting that read.
Kevin Jepson's getting ready for the Angels in the bullpen. Evan Scribner for Oakland. 2-2. Jed Lowry switch hitting shortstops on deck. Cespedes after that. 2-2. Got him looking on the inside corner. Down goes Young. There's the first out.
We got some paint on the inside corner at 88 from Downs. Going in with 88. Good target set up by Chris Iannetta. Gets the call right on the corner.
Here's Lowry, the shortstop. He's drawn a walk, grounded to third, hit a fly ball to right. Slow breaking pitch. Lowry, an Oregon native, went to Stanford. Boston Red Sox supplemental first-round pick in 2005. It was the 45th overall selection that year. Looks at a strike. Got traded to the Astros in 2011. Off to a good start for Oakland. There's a 1-ball, 1-strike count here against Scott Downs with Crisp over at first. Downs being very deliberate. Slows things down a little bit, especially with Crisp over at first base, cognizant of his speed. This one's in the air to shallow center field. Borges comes on. 2 outs. Hey folks, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. So with Yoenis Cespedes coming up and a man at first, Mike Scioscia is going to go to the bullpen and bring on the right-hander. Kevin Jepsen coming on in relief for the Angels, leading it 5-4. Five to 4. I want to remind you that on Saturday the Angels will be taking on the Houston Astros. Keep in mind that's a 6:05 start. Fans in attendance will receive a Mike Trout bobblehead courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. To purchase your tickets, visit the Angel Stadium ticket office or log on at angels.com.
I gotta believe that's going to be a big time seller that day. A lot of people will be rushing out to get that bobblehead.
And that bobblehead clearly a little heavier than last year by about 40 pounds, allegedly. Coco Crisp at first base with 2 outs. Kevin Jepsen on to face Yoenis Cespedes. 49 games last year. You see the numbers for Kevin.
A great fastball, 94 to 97 cut fastball and swing and miss breaking pitch.
This is his 5th game on in relief. 3 innings total. 1 inning, or pardon me, 1 hit. 5 strikeouts, no walks.
That's one of those plays now as a pitcher when you step off the first time and you don't see the base runner going back. That's when you step off and then fire over as quick as possible. Every once in a while you can catch a would-be base stealer thinking you're not going to throw over. You can get him out.
Get him flat-footed, if you will. I think Crisp will be on the move early on. He started a little bit jockeying at first base.
But you have to sell it. You almost have to pretend like you're an actor. You step off quick, lull him to sleep, and then fire over to first base as quick as possible.
Cespedes tonight is walk, struck out, and single. 1 for 2. Oakland with 3 runs in the first, 1 in the second. The Halos scored twice in the third, 3 in the sixth. Take a 5-4 lead. Here's the first one. They pitch out. Crisp not going anywhere.
Well, you got to believe Coco's going to go now. Again, when you're doing a pitch out, you have to sell everything exactly the same because good base runners will think something's up when you go quickly to the plate after holding the ball the couple pitches before in which you stepped off.
He does take off. That fastball's up and in to throw down to second. Is not in time. A stolen base.
Pretty good quick release from Chris Iannetta. But a big jump. And clearly Coco gets the hand in for his first stolen base of the season. But one thing we saw over the last few years with Coco, he will have a tendency to slide through the base. You got to keep that tag on him.
Saw that a couple times last year. 2 balls and no strike. So we're going to miss, challenge him with a high fastball. 2-1.
Well, you better have a good one if you're going to go inside on Cespedes.
Two-one pitch. Went upstairs again at 96. You've had enough of those?
Yes. First one got it by him. That one he timed that pretty good. It was exact same speed. Now you have to think in terms of that cut fastball or slider away for Kevin Jepson.
Count even up at 2-2. Outfield straight around at normal depth. 2 outs here in Cespedes. Iannetta calls time.
Let's make sure they're on the same page. And now Chris is going to go out to talk to Jepson.
And also with a man at second base, make sure that if you're running through a set of signs or trying to make sure that the base runner at second doesn't pick up your signs, that you've got the right set going.
And you also, as a catcher, you want to have the least amount of movement as possible, because as a base runner at second, you can tip location whether he's going inside or away, so you wait to the last second to move.
Now the 2-2 breaking pitch. Just missed inside. And collectively, as a group, especially from our vantage point, all of the Angels took 1 step or 2 steps towards the dugout. Everyone thought it was a strike. A full count now with Norris on deck. There comes the 3-2, and that almost hit him. Overthrown fastball. Puts a man on.
Back inside with another fastball, but he's going to go in there and try to throw it hard inside, up and in, but it gets away from him and walks Cespedes.
So with Norris due off, they're going to pinch hit for him. John Jaso takes over as the pinch hitter. Mike Butcher's going to come out and go through the scouting report with Jepsen. Jaso, it seemed last year, just seemed to hurt the Angels every time he came up, especially in crucial situations.
Career .337 batter against the Angels. With 4 home runs and 18 RBI.
Traded by the Seattle Mariners to Oakland. They've just one season up in Seattle. Hit .276 last year, 10 home runs and 50 runs batted in.
He's another guy, though, gears up for a fastball. Now, we saw Kevin Jepsen on the road trip have an excellent changeup. Got Jay Bruce to swing and miss on a slow changeup on a 2-2 count. So he does have that as part of his repertoire to be able to get hitters out, especially fastball hitters.
Crisp at second, Cespedes at first. 2 outs here in the 7th. 1-0. A ton of base runners, a ton of pitches, it seems like, have been thrown tonight. Both sides. A's starter Jared Parker lasted 3 1/3, gave up 2 runs, so 9 hits. C.J. Wilson gave up 4 runs in the first 2 innings, but got 6 innings in. Jaso pulls one toward the corner in right. That is hit well, and this one is off the top of the wall and gone. A 3-run home run, and Oakland is back on top.
Jaso continues to come back and haunt the Angel pitchers. Fastball, Iannetta wanted away, middle of the plate, and Jaso turned on it.
First of the year for Jaso. Here's Donaldson, the third baseman. Oh, missed outside. As we said, John Jaso, it just seemed like last year with Seattle, he did way too much of that. Did it again tonight. 2-0. So the Halos down 7-5 here in the 7th. That excuse me infield base hit by Coco Crisp moving things off. Downs gets charged with one of those runs. This one's fouled off to the right.
When you look back at that at bat against Cespedes, that breaking pitch just off the inside corner. Ends up walking on a high fastball and then brings up Jaso.
Two and two. The Angels in the bottom of the 7th will have Iannetta, Borges, and Trout coming up. Ryan Cook will be coming back out. It's 4 batters in the 6th inning. This one line to left, a base hit. Donaldson will stop at first, a 2-out single. Jepson has faced 3 batters here in the 7th inning, and all 3 have reached a walk, a home run, and now a single.
Seems like the A's hitters are timing him. A lot of stuff 95, 96, all hard. And they're looking through and trying to get the swings at that. The one pitch that he threw off speed against Cespedes, who was out in front, didn't swing at it. It was just out of the zone. But when you see a lot of hard stuff, you can time that as a hitter.
Here's Brandon Moss, the first baseman. 7th man to bat here, the 7th. Kevin behind at the count at 1 ball, no strikes. Moss tonight 2 for 3. Couple of singles, 2 runs batted in. Just popped out. Sean Burnett, the lefty, begins to loosen in the Angels' pen. And that one's hit out toward right field and hit well. Hamilton will pull up, and that's gone. A 2-run home run for Moss. 9-5 Oakland.
Boy, they capitalized. We saw it last year here, especially at the Big A when Oakland came into town. When you made a mistake, they jumped on it. This location with that fastball. Anytime you see a catcher reaching back away from his initial target, that's the results you're going to end up getting.
Moss hits his first of the year. Freeman skies one to right. Playable for Hamilton. They'll make the grab, but the damage is done. A 5-run 7th inning. Ball head to the bottom of the 7th. 9-5 Oakland. Five-run top of the 7th inning puts Oakland up 9-5. Another 4-run lead for them. John Jaso And Brendan Moss both with home runs. Jaso, a 3-run shot, came as a pinch hitter. See the in-game box score. Howie Kendrick with a 3-hit game. Borges a couple of hits. Same with Trout and Ivar. Ivar left in the 3rd inning with the left heel contusion, as Ryan Cook is still in the game for Oakland. And the Angels, once down 4-0, will have to battle back from down 4. Iannetta, Borges, and Trout against the fireballing right-hander, who picked up a strikeout in the 6th inning. Chris Iannetta tonight is 0 for 3. First one's down low. Oakland with 10 hits, the Angels with 12. The Halos have stranded 11 base runners. 2 for 13 with men in scoring position tonight.
No doubt you feel the Angels are going to have that opportunity once again here. You got 3 more innings to chip away that 4-run lead.
Watch out. Now we're getting away from Cook on the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, slipped out of his hand, a slider. Boy, as a hitter too, you're reading spin on the baseball, but you're looking out over the plate, and instead it runs back in on you.
Iannetta hits one out toward left field. Cespedes has got a beat on it. One away. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. The bat delivers Angels baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Just text at bat to 31826 or log on at angels.com for more details. Borges 2 for 3, couple of singles. He's also grounded out. It's a breaking ball for a strike. That's a fastball into the knees. 0-2.
Last time up, Peter Borges behind 0-2. Got a base hit up the middle.
This one off the end of the bat on the first base side. Looks like Sean Burnett will be coming on in the 8th inning. Borges fouls this one back just below us. Missed down and away. Got him swinging on the breaking ball. 2 down. Second strikeout for Cook. Back to the top of the order now, Trout. Trout 2 for 3 with that single in the 4th inning, a bloop single to right field that tripled and scored leading off the 6th. It's also drawn a walk. Cook is the 4th reliever used by Bob Melvin, and after Parker left after 3 1/3. It's Freesop at Neshek, Jerry Blevins, and now Cook.
That's the one thing Bob Melvin will do, use that bullpen a lot. It's been successful. Manager of the year last year doing so.
That's off the plate. Two balls and a strike. Brendan Harris is on deck. Two-one pitch. Swing and a miss. It's a hard slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, he's a hitter too. It's a 2-1 count. You're down by 4. You got to think in terms of I'm going to get a fastball. Instead, got a hard slider. And you have to get that back going quickly when you're dealing with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
A full count. Boy, Cook, when he is on, gets a downward plane going. Goes around the knees. 3-2. Breaking pitch, foul off.
And when he stays down there, it's very difficult to get the ball in the air, so you have to beat him with ground balls or line drives. But he can get wild.
And he got him swinging a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Cook. 7 of the books. Oakland's on top 9-5. SoCal Ram dealers. Visit ramtrucks.com today. And by El Pollo Loco. Crazy you can taste. Top of the 8th inning. 9-5. Oakland leads it. 9-1-2 coming up for the Athletics to face. Sean Burnett takes over on the mound for Kevin Jepson. Very tough go for Kevin Jepson. 1/3 of an inning, 3 hits, including 2 home runs, 4 runs all earned.
Sean Burnett, very good last year for the Nationals. In 70 games, 2.38 ERA. So far, he's pitched 4 games for Mike Soch. 2 2/3 innings pitched. A couple walks, 4 punch-outs. Very effective as far as pitching both sides of the plate also. 86 to 89 range, good breaking pitch, solid changeup.
5th game for Sean, 2 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. As I mentioned, in 9-1-2 as Eric Sogard will lead things off. He took over for Scott Sizemore when he sprained his knee earlier in the game. First one's down low. Sogard 0 for 1. He struck out against C.J. Wilson. Last batter C.J. faced in his 6 innings of work tonight. Bounces this one foul. And that the 3rd reliever used by Mike. He's got downs with 2/3 of an inning. Kevin Jepson came on essentially with 2 outs in the 7th inning to get Yoenis Cespedes. Nobody else warming up in the pen. Jepson walked Cespedes. And Melvin pinch hit John Jason for Derek Norris, left-handed batter. Jepson gave up the 3-run home run.
Obviously a little different bullpen tonight for the Angels. No Garrett Richards going to be part of the rotation now.
Angels making a move with Jared Weaver going on the disabled list. Dane De La Rosa was picked up towards the end of spring training. He's with the big club out of the bullpen. Weaver scheduled to miss 4 to 6 weeks with that broken left elbow, non-pitching elbow. Freakish injury, if you will, Sunday night in Texas.
Mike Scioscia said Jarrett will be able to do things to be able to keep his arm in throwing condition. Not necessarily be able to throw bullpens, but able to do a lot of exercises. Of course, playing a little bit of catch. He tries to get that left elbow to heal and be ready shortly thereafter.
Sogard chops this one to third. That's going to be a tough play for Callaspo. Got rid of it quickly. No play. I'll tell you what, Callaspo got rid of that ball very, very quickly. Would have been interesting to see how close it would have been if Pujols stayed on the bag.
And how quick was that transfer and throw?
I wouldn't have gotten it, but it would have been good to see anyway.
Well, I didn't think he had a chance, but that was a quick play by Callaspo.
Infield base hit for Sogard. Second straight inning in which the A's have done that. That's their 11th hit. Here's Crisp. Looks at a strike. Coco's 2 for 4. Solo home run in the second, his 4th of the year. The infield base hit, a stolen base, and a run scored in the 7th. Down at the dirt, smothered by Iannetta. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncer towards second. It's going to be a tough play. They'll get Crisp at first. Sogard advances to second base. 1 out. The Angels will face a left-hander tomorrow. Tommy Malone going for Oakland. Joe Blanton going for the Angels. His second start. Thursday night is the finale of the 3-game set. A.J. Griffin. It's Jason Vargas. Chris Young takes that one outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Young tonight 0 for 4. Getting the start in right field for the injured Josh Reddick. Count is evened up.
And Sean Burnett has a delivery similar to what you see from the right side from Jared Weaver, thrown across his body, creating deception. Very difficult for a hitter to be able to read the baseball out of his hand.
In the dirt, and it gets away from Iannetta. Sogard ends up at third. The wild pitch.
It's going to force the infield in now for the Angels. Cannot afford to give up another run. Over through that off-speed pitch.
Two balls and a strike. This one to short. And Harris has it. 2 outs. Well, that ball off the end of the bat had a lot of spin on it. Almost to the point where it looked as if Harris almost overran it.
Yeah, that was a tougher play than anybody anticipated, because it did have that different spin on it.
Starts off on his left foot and it kind of ends up on the back foot there.
You can almost see how it almost like it was you could track the baseball the way it was turning.
Yeah. Kind of snaked through the grass there. And 2 outs, and Sogard's still at third. Here's Jed Lowry, the shortstop, 0 for 3. Drew a walk and scored in the first inning. Eight of the 9 runs that Oakland has scored tonight have come with 2 outs. The 3 they scored in the first inning all came with 2 outs. And the 5 in the 7th. The crisp home run came leading off the second inning. Three balls, no strikes. Cespedes on deck. The Angels, for their part offensively, have had base runners all over the place. Eleven men left on tonight. Strike 3-1.
Generally, when you look back over the years with the Angels, when you score 5 runs, even though you've had other opportunities to score more, you're going to win the game.
Bouncer to third. Callaspo has it. The inning comes to an end. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Angels down by 4. Check out our AT&T Twitter poll question for this evening. Which is the best Angels rival in their division? Texas Rangers win out easily.
Although tonight with Oakland, the way they came back, there's 5 runs at the top of the 7th. They've been playing well here, in particular against the Angels at the Big A.
New pitcher on a relief for Bob Melvin. It's the left-hander Sean Doolittle coming on in place of Ryan Cook. 44 games last year, 201 mark, a 3.04 earned run average. He's appeared now in his 4th game for the Angels this year, pardon me, for the A's this year. 3 innings of work, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts so far. The Angels setting up 2, 3, and 4. Harris, Pujols, and Hamilton.
With Doolittle with a good fastball, another one of those power arms we were talking about out of the bullpen. 91 to 96, curveball, changeup, but throws a lot of fastballs. Over 80% of his pitches last year, fastballs.
1 ball, 1 strike. Brendan Harris with a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly. That was that fly ball that Chris Young dropped in right field. Picked up his first RBI as an Angel. In the air toward right center field. Hit pretty well. Coco Chris got a good jump on it. And will track it down on the warning track for the first down. Let's go back and check out the Hyundai key to the game.
Well, we talked about it at the beginning. Feel this moment. Energy, the excitement of opening day. Certainly had that as he take that lead in the bottom of the 6th, 5-4. But then Oakland responded with that 5 spot in the top of the 7th. But Pujols has that ability to spark another rally for the Angels here with that power.
Strike on the corner. Albert tonight 1 for 2. A single, hit by a pitch, reached on an error, and he's walked. Some foul back. This one popped up right side of the infield. Sogard, the second baseman, makes the catch. 2 down. Ryan Cook, by the way, for Oakland, went an inning and 2/3, struck out 3 and allowed a hit. Doolittle will face Hamilton here with 2 outs. Base is clear. And since that triple by Howie Kendrick in the 6th inning that brought in at that time the go-ahead run, Oakland pitching has retired the last 6 in a row. Oh, 1 count. Well, Hamilton's 0 for 3 with a sac fly.
Doolittle at one point was a position player in the minor leagues. He's had that great arm. And anytime you can get a left-handed pitcher to throw that hard, as a manager, you have so many options.
One ball, 2 strikes. Doolittle made his major league debut last year with Oakland. After just 17 professional appearances as a pitcher. Here's the 1-2. Hamilton fouls it off. The Angels have Dane De La Rosa up and loosening in the bullpen. So he'll be coming on in the 9th. Cespedes, Jaso, Donaldson, the scheduled 3. De La Rosa acquired from the Rays on March 27th. Exchange for Stephen Geltz. Pitcher for pitcher deal. Jumbo's on deck. This one pulled to first, backhanded by Moss. He'll race to the bag and they'll beat Hamilton. The Angels go down in order. We'll head to the 9th. 9-5. Oakland on top. 9-5. Want to remind you that on Saturday, NASCAR heads to Texas. Jimmie Johnson will look for his third career victory while defending champion Greg Biffle tries to p.m. Eastern. Here in the ninth inning, Dane Della Rosa Rays. Originally a New York Yankees 24th round selection.
Yeah, he's got a good power fastball. He's had some good numbers in the minor leagues. Certainly a guy with a live arm like this, an opportunity to be able to do some good things for the Angels here coming out of the bullpen.
Yankees taking him in the 2002 draft out of Riverside Community College. And he'll face Yoenis Cespedes to lead things off here in the ninth inning. Breaking pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes.
Certainly has that good downward action at 6'7". Good hard breaking ball going along with his fastball.
I would assume he'll get some downward action. He's 6'7", listed at 245. Fastball missing low. 2 balls and no strikes. Be a heck of a matchup between him and Freeman, the DH for Oakland.
Nixon Weaver at 6'7" himself.
Yeah. 12 games in the big leagues for Dane. No record at 10.95 ERA. All of that over the last 2 years. This one's pulled into left field, a base hit. Leadoff man is on board for Oakland. So John Jaso will come up for his second plate appearance. Jaso stuck the dagger in the Angels fans' hearts as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. A 3-run home run that put Oakland back on top. Breaking ball is in for a strike. Ground ball to second base, should be 2. Kendrick to Harris for 1. The relay in time, a double play.
Nice job by Howie. Good feed over to Brendan Harrison, second base. Be able to turn a 4-6-3 double play. Good job as far as getting in the glove and a good feed to allow Brendan to be able to get a good strong throw. It's a letter high, which makes that transfer that much quicker for him.
So 2 outs, bases clear for Josh Donaldson, the third baseman. Started his swing, he went around. Home plate umpire Mike Machlinski making the call. Donaldson this evening 2 for 4, a couple of singles and a run scored. Bouncer to the left side. Callaspo comes charging in, gets rid of it quickly. We will head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Trumbo, Kendrick, and Callaspo coming up with the Halos down by 4. Oakland leads it. A's closer Grant Balfour is on in relief for Sean Doolittle. And he'll be facing Mark Trumbo, Howie Kendrick, and Alberto Callaspo.
Grant Balfour, another one of those power arms. 72 punch-outs in 74 and 2/3 innings pitched last season. Fastball rushes up there again, 93 to 98 range, although he will throw a two-seamer at 90 now. Slider, curveball, changeup.
Balfour had a very good season for Oakland last year. And just another one of those arms, as we pointed out a couple of innings ago, that will come right after you. Not afraid to challenge you.
High energy guy, no question about it.
75 games last year, picked up 24 saves, a 3-2 mark, 2.53 ERA. Originally in the Minnesota Twins organization, signing with them in '97. Been with the Twins, the Brewers, the Rays, and now in his third season as a member of the Athletics. Native of Sydney, Australia. Mark Trumbo's 1 for 4 tonight. RBI single in the third inning. First one's in there for a strike. RBI Trumbo picked up in that third inning, his 6th of the year. One ball, one strike. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Biggest issue for the Angels, as it has been through the first week of the season, situational hitting. C.J. Wilson dug the Angels into a hole down 4-0 after 2 innings, but the Angels climbed right back. He took the lead in the 6th. The Angels bullpen, and specifically Kevin Jepson, struggled. With 2 outs in the 7th, giving up 2 home runs.
Yeah, the Angels took advantage of some mistakes made in the field by Oakland in that 6th inning to be able to score those 3 runs.
This is shot into right field, a base hit for Trumbo. Leadoff man is on board. Snaps a string of 7 straight retired by A's pitching.
Well, Grant Balfour was saying something to Mark Trumbo as he hit that ball to right field. I mean, that's just a good piece of hitting. But we always say that Grant Balfour is a guy, a high energy guy. It's a conversation.
Kind of interesting.
I mean, that's just a good piece of hitting. It's not like it was a flare in the right field. That was a rocket in the right field.
All right. Howie,
all pitchers.
3-hit game for Howie. 3 singles and an RBI. That's in the dirt. And as a base runner, don't you exact your revenge by just stealing a base down by 4 runs in the 9th inning?
Surprising. Moss is still covering first base over there. 4-run lead. Generally, you're going to have the first baseman playing off the base to be able to have better coverage, just in case a ground ball gets that hole between first and second. Because that run doesn't matter.
Breaking balls off the plate.
I mean, you always want to keep the double play in order, but the reality is that run doesn't matter. 9-5. You want Moss behind him to be able to get that ground ball just in case Howie, who goes that way very well.
In the dirt.
And Howie certainly has had a good game today, too, with that walk and 3 hits. His 70th career 3-hit game.
Teosco's on deck. Balfour's the 6th reliever used by Melvin tonight. Now the 3-1. Howie shoots one to right, but Young was playing back. Now moves back a little bit more. Makes the catch. First down here in the 9th is recorded. And here comes Alberto. And the only guy not used tonight by Melvin, Evan Scribner. And he was up for a moment, loosening in the bullpen. Now Alberto's 1 for 4 tonight. RBI single in the 3rd inning. Check swing bouncer on the first base side. Sogard's got it. 2 outs. Angels down to the last out here with Trumbo standing at second base and Iannetta coming up. 0 for 4 tonight. Lost tonight, but dropped the Angels to a 2-5 start. Turning the ball over to Joe Blanton tomorrow against Tommy Malone.
Tommy Malone 2-1 against the Angels last year.
Joe talking with Ryan Madsen.
Blanton, a former Oakland A.
.25 combined hits tonight. One and one. So 5-run, top of the 7th with 2 outs. The difference in this one. John Jaso coming off the bench with a 3-run pinch hit home run off Kevin Jepson after the walk to Yoenis Cespedes. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's tough sometimes to figure out why some players just hit well against a pitching staff. And the Angel pitching staff has been incredibly consistent over the years, but Jaso has been patient enough to get into a fastball count and has capitalized on every one of those fastball mistakes made against him.
In the dirt, and it gets by Jaso. Trumbo will head over to third. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. First meeting of the year between these two teams. And Oakland didn't waste any time, scoring 3 times in that first inning.
All with 2 outs. 2 quick outs.
Full count. Score holds. Oakland will pick up its 6th win of the young season. Go to 6-2. Payoff pitch. Iannetta fouls it off. Oakland came into this one with 5-game winning streak after dropping the very first 2 of the season, both at home against Seattle. Inetta takes ball 4. So first and third with 2 outs. And Borges now coming up.
Always you would like, if you're the Angels right now, somehow get Mike Trout to the plate. If that's the case, you represent the tying run. So if you're Peter Borges, if that bunt's available, you take it.
Two for 4 tonight with a couple of singles. 1 infield base hit. Another one a single into center. Trumbo at third, Inetta at first. Of course, Moss playing behind Inetta at first base. Inetta takes off. The breaking ball is low. The Angels in the outfield are out. Why not? In the ninth, down by 4. Borges looks at a strike on a fastball. That last fastball for a strike, the 20th pitch thrown by Balfour. Borges lifts one in the air down the right field line. Chris Young moving over near the foul line, and he'll make the catch. Oakland takes game 1 by the final of 9-5 over the Halos in their home opener.
Boy, it's one of those tough games, especially when you fought all the way back to take the lead with some mistakes made by Oakland in the field by scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, but give it right back. Top of the 7th, credit the Oakland A's. They had some good at-bats, hit the ball out of the ballpark. John Jaso once again came back to haunt the Angels with that 3-run home run to right field off the top of the wall. It was a big blow of the game for Oakland. But those 3 runs in the first inning, though, set the tone for Oakland. They felt a lot more confident.
Set the tone for Oakland, and it also set the tone for the Angels as far as the men and that they left on base, and the situational hitting continues to struggle. The Angels dropped this one by the final of 9-5. Stick around. Angels Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers, is coming up next.